Philadelphia, I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gargano Show!
Happy Friday! Happy Friday to all across the Delaware Valley, man. It is Father's Day weekend, and that'll be a big theme of the show. Father's Day, man. So we get our moment. Mother's Day is an event, right? It's almost a week, at least a weekend. Father's Day, you get like 10 minutes, but it's still good, all right? You get your 10 minutes of love. We're going to devote the show to the dads today. This is the Anthony Gargano Show, presented by TruMark Financial Credit Union. Check out the TruMark difference, the credit union difference with TruMark Financial. Go to TruMark.com/PHLY to find out all the details. All right. So, last night, panic in Fenway Park. There's a question mark at the end of that because this morning, as I make my rounds on my way to work at the Wawa and everything, gas station, the whole thing, people freaking out. Oh, my God, Nola gets shelled. The Phillies lost the series. What are we going to do? There's no JT. When's Turner? What's the deal? Oh, my God. And I don't want to say the relaxed thing, but it's amazing how we get spoiled, right? Like, we've gotten spoiled in a big way this baseball season. And my only advice, and it's less a directive and more advice for your own mental well-being. It's baseball. They're going to go through a funk period. And it could be now. Like, they got the Orioles over the weekend. And the Orioles are a really good ball club, and so are the Phillies. But again, they're shorthanded, right? No JT, right? We got the Turner thing going, Marsh. There could be a little bit of a problem this weekend. So I'm just prepping you. I mean, you got Ranger tonight against Bradish, who's very good. Ranger looked okay his last start. So let's see. Tomorrow, Walker against that lineup is frightening, right? Like that lineup, the Orioles lineup can rake right from the beginning. Like Gunnar Henderson, who's one of the best shortstops, you're going to get to know them. They're really good. Royschman, the catcher, they bat 1-2. They're nasty. And that one looks tough. And then Sunday, Father's Day, is an epic game. Like, I can't wait for Sunday because it's going to be a great sports day. Obviously, it's the final of the Open. You got Phillies Orioles, and it's Zach wheels up against Corbin Burns. That's a great matchup. That's like old school baseball, two horses on the mound, head to head at Camden Yards. There's going to be a lot of Philadelphia people making their way down the Camden Yards. It's going to be incredible. Absolutely incredible. So looking forward to that. It'll be a big weekend. My only point is that they could lose 2 or 3. Baltimore's a good team. Saturday's going to be tough with Walker pitching against that lineup. I'm not in love with the matchup. So who knows? But my only point to you guys is don't sweat it. There's going to be lots of, ups and downs the rest of the season. They're really good. What we're seeing now is a legitimate team. So they lost the series to Boston. You're going to lose a series. They just spoiled us. So it was just funny how, and I don't blame anybody. Like, listen, it's almost stunning when they lose, right? Like, oh my God, they lost the last 2 games. They lost 2 in a row. You're like, oh my God, what happened? The Phillies are this good. It's cool, is my only advice. Just, it's baseball. And sometimes we get lost in the moment and we expect them to win every game. They're a good ball club and they're not going anywhere. However, there is some concern today, and it has nothing to do with baseball. So last night, Florida wins again. The Celtics can end the series tonight in Dallas with a sweep. So Florida's up 3-0, and the Celtics are up 3-0. And I look deeper, and we've touched on this before, but you look who has been the mainstay, really the MVP of the series, and it's Drew Holiday. And Drew Holiday was the guy who started the process. When Sam Hinkie came in here long ago and began the process, Drew Holiday was the first move. He was the guy who started the process. And now, all these years later, he's going to lead our blood rival, the Celtics, to a world championship. And it's sickening, right? Now, on the ice, you look at who the goaltender is in Florida. Sergei Bobrovsky, the Bob. And if you go back in the annals of we need a goalie, Mr. Snyder, Ed Snyder, desperate, seeing like, I got to win it again. And, Ed, God rest his soul, would throw all kinds of money. He would do whatever he could until the NHL got a cap. He was all in every year. And this was like the beginning of the issues that the Flyers had. They're desperate for a goalie. Remember in 97, when they're in the Cup, they were a goaltender short. Otherwise, they might have given the Red Wings a series. Well, they have Bob, but they want to upgrade from Bob. And they go get Yamangas. That's right. They go get the other Russian goalie, who was a complete disaster. We remember how crazy he was, how he was a blast and insane to talk to, but he was out of his mind, and he wasn't good. They gave him $50 million, Ilya Brizgalov. And I'll never forget, there was this talk about you couldn't have two Russian goalies on the same team. And it was like, no, that's a no-go. So they get rid of Bob, and they go all in on the Briz. And the Briz was a disaster, a humongous disaster. And I look back, and I see Drew Holiday, and I see Sergei Bobrovsky, and they're both about to win. And I look at that building that is quiet in South Philadelphia. If you look across the street with the stately Link and diagonal to the Xanadu Baseball Citizens Bank Park, alive every night, there is the Wells Fargo Center. And it sits there quiet and dark when it comes to sports in spring and summer. And you go, what's up with that place? That place has been a den of goo, right? It's just been one loss after another. There's not been one championship there. We saw the Phillies win it on the home at Citizens Bank Park, right? We've seen all kinds of incredible games. We've seen the Eagles win the NFC Championship at the Link twice. And yet, the Wells Fargo Center has been nothing but losses and disappointment and bad hockey and bad baseball. And so I wonder, years ago, the Eagles had struggled at home. They were going through it was post-TO. It was a situation where they just couldn't win at the Link. And we were wondering, what's going on? It was 2 years where they were struggling to win. And so we had to do an exorcism. And I think we need to go in deep. Ghost hunters, priests, shamans, Wiccans. All right, we need them all to come together to fumigate the Wells Fargo Center, because there's something unholy that lives in that building. There's something that has just pushed these franchises into the doldrums. We got to cleanse the Wells Fargo Center. That's my mission on this Father's Day weekend. That's Poppin' Off, brought to you by Olipop, the soda that's good for you. Listen, my recommendation, Father's Day, one dad to another, crack open an Olipop and put some your favorite bourbon in it, whatever spirit you want, with a lot of ice, and you got some deliciousness. All right, it's the soda that's good for you. You can find it at Wawa and Whole Foods and all your spots. Let's welcome in the peeps. What do you say, JP? John Zapata, good hat, and the birthday boy, VG, Violations Greg. What's up, Gregory?
What's going on, brother?
Happy birthday, VG. Happy birthday, dude.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, let's start with the Phillies. All right?
The fight.
Yeah.
Man.
All right, so this morning I'm making my rounds and there's panic everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Panic
everywhere.
in
Panic
Fenway
on my
Park.
text
Yeah,
chains.
Trade Aaron Noel?
I mean, listen, I know that the Phillies are great and they've had a great start. We can't look at, and this has been our problem, we look at everything through the prism of football.
Exactly.
We freak out over one loss. Like baseball, listen, baseball, a long season. Games come, you're going to lose games, you're going to win games,
Right.
you're going to go to streaks, right? You're going to have a funk, you're going to have a slump.
Yeah.
That's the nature of the sport. We love baseball. We know baseball, and yet we react like we've never experienced it before.
But we're a football town, and you can tell when stuff like last night happens. I mean, like, we were just giving roses to Aaron Noel, I feel like 2 weeks ago, and then yet you wake up this morning. Yeah, no one's going to deny he had a bad outing. But to some of the stuff that we
He's
heard.
going to have 3 or 4 clunkers over the course of the year. He takes the hill every 5 days. He gives you innings. Every 4 or 5 times a year, he's going to get hit. He's going to get hit around. That's what it is.
But he's done this before. He always bounces back in the next outing.
Well, that's bad. But then again, that's starting pitching. But
we should know this is my point. We should know Aaron Nola after 6 years.
If you take the temperature of this city, you would think Nola has one game out of every 5 games. One good one out of every 5. The way they act with him.
He acts like he's Taiwan Walker.
Yes, they do. I'm bringing an early nug because I think we need this nug.
I want an early nug.
Apparently,
I
I think they said this on the Phil's radio broadcast. Cardinals and Cubs, 2 teams that played in London last year.
Yeah.
They went a combined 1-5 in their first series after the trip,
That's a good nug.
being outscored 42-18. And I don't know when it was said, but if the current score holds, Phillies and the Mets would both been 2-4, outscored 31-13. So I think this trip, and it's not just that trip. They had a ton of miles before that. What was it like? There are like 37 time zones they went through, like 14,000 miles.
You were in San Diego.
Yeah, they're missing a third of their lineup.
Right.
And it's their catcher.
Right. Who's the heart and soul of the team.
Yeah.
No try.
That's that. I do think you just got to put a pin in it. Like, you got to relax. Like, again, going from London to Boston and now down to Baltimore, you're going to have some sort of slip. Like, the last 2 games, sloppy to field, right? Just not like they jump out early the other night with the bats and then go quiet. And last night you're just out of it early because your starter just gets blown up, and that's the game. That's textbook.
It was a ridiculous amount of doubles. Every time the bat hit the ball, it was a double.
Yeah.
It was double. It was a double
Smacking
orgy.
that ball around.
It was a double orgy. The bullpen, some of those guys didn't pitch for like 7 days. It's, and the Dodgers lost 5 straight. And no, it wasn't even a blip anywhere. Nobody even mentioned it. The Dodgers lost 5 straight. They've lost 2 out of 3 after this crazy road
No one
trip.
likes us, VJ.
Randy Rubart in the chat, he actually put a comment up that said the teams that went to London last year also got shelled on their way back from London. So it's going to happen.
Yes. Yeah. It's that piece of it.
It's just bad timing with the injuries right now.
Right, that piece of it and baseball.
Yeah.
But that's baseball. Baseball, it lends itself to this, like ups and downs and slumps and streaks and hot streaks and cold streaks. That's baseball. That's what happens.
That's why that record, it's just pedal to the metal. That's almost it's a 70% failure rate is good. So it's almost impossible to have pedal to metal and win 120 a year. I mean, you're going to have your ups and downs. It just happens.
I know. I love to see it. I love to see them beat Seattle and beat that record. But this is like long season. Injuries come to play. It's like you get caught up in a lull, right? Like when they're playing great and you're night in, night out, it feels like they can't lose. Mm-hmm. You think it's going to last forever.
Yeah, it feels like it.
But then as, the summer gets hotter, the spring turns into summer and injuries happen and the season goes on and there's dog days and there's travel. And that's where you realize that this is what happens.
I just have to ask because, I think we're a great sports town. We've shown in the playoffs, how we support the Phillies, but why can't we put the football lenses down for the other sports? Why do we have to have that same mentality for baseball?
I don't know, dude. I just think it's the soul of the town.
I try. And the thing is, I try. Listen, I do a great job of trying to understand the fan base. For the most part, I do understand where we're coming from with a lot of these things, but the football lenses for the sports, I don't get. Why.
It's necessary.
Okay.
All right. And here's why. When you are this passionate and this emotional, we're an emotional town. We are emotional to the end. We react. Listen, cities have their own personalities, right?
That's true.
Philadelphians we're our own creatures. We're unique people, right? We are. There's personality types in every city is real. We just happen to be very emotional, very reactive. And so we love sports. So you can't have the passion and the love and the craziness without the manic behavior. It's the flip side of the coin. You can't not have it. People can't just go, you can't go from Citizens Bank Park and singing that song and everybody freaking out, right? To the people understanding, oh yeah, I get it. No, the London trip and not react.
We are reactionary. I mean, you could be in the middle of an MVP season. Schmitty's had it, Bryce had it. You're going to get booed. We're reactionary. We're in the moment. Sometimes we can't see the big picture, but also the history of where we come from, I think, affects particularly the Phillies. 10,000 losses, the Whiz Kids collapse. So, there's history here. So people are just waiting. It almost feels also too good right now. They're waiting for something to drop.
Yes, but it also starts into we overlove and we love so strong that there has to be the flip side. You don't get, you can't just turn it off. So if they lose a game, even though intellectually, I think everybody understands it, right? Intellectually, you get it. Baseball, London, injuries, everything we've just said. But you can't have the without, it's the yin and the yang, man. It's the universe.
I get that.
This is part of who we are. You just got to accept it.
The universe, humongous. I just thought of that when you brought that up earlier.
Last night ruins people's evenings. My parents gather around the TV, and sitting through that ruins their night. That's their night. This is the Phillies game.
I know.
And they get shelled like that. People are at a loss, man. They get upset.
I get that, exactly what you're saying. I just didn't understand waking up this morning. It literally, the fans with Aaron Nola this morning was like the Titanic. Everyone was just jumping off the ship. And that's what I don't understand.
That's what it is, though, dude. I start the show by saying, hey, just FYI, this weekend, they could lose 2 or 3.
I think they might get swept.
Right? They could.
Don't say that,
the Orioles
Come
are
on
good,
now.
and it's just the way it's set up right now.
The sweep.
I mean, listen, they're running into a buzzsaw.
The Orioles are hot. Look what they did to Atlanta.
Oh, yeah, I know.
They're hot. They're really good lineup. And, Saturday, you're already behind the 8 ball with Walker against them.
Right.
And then you got to go up against Burns. And Bradish is good. People don't know about Kyle Bradish. He's really good. He's pitching tonight. Ranger looked a little iffy last time. So, I don't know. I mean, VG's right. They could get swept or they could lose 2 or 3. And my only point is take a breath and think about it before you freak out. And even though I say that, people are going to freak out.
It's going to be, if they're not showing, there's going to be a lot of boos. This series has been sold out, and it's Phillies fans going down
show
there.
if they lose,
It's going to be some boos if they
and there
put
was
up
the
some
Philly
stickers.
fit. Oh, I know.
And that's going to be the story. Philly fans boo the Phillies in Camden Yards,
Yep.
right?
But
The downfall.
and nobody understands this nationally. You can't have one side of the coin without the other.
True.
And it's funny, like people go, well, you're so irrational. Yeah, well, we're irrational the good way too, and you don't laud that piece of it,
Right.
like loving Bryce Harper. These athletes, seriously.
Yeah.
David Dahl was talking about being here, like, oh my God, this is amazing, this place, and every ball. Listen, having covered baseball in many different stadiums, there's a lot of sleepy parks. People don't care. They show up late. They're barely into it. They're just there for the bobblehead or the hot dog.
Not Andrew. Andrew's not there for the bobblehead. He hates them.
That's why I brought it up.
Imagine playing for the Marlins, guys.
Well, it's like Kansas City. Like, all
Dude,
these
I was
places.
Pittsburgh, they don't spend any money, but I was in Pittsburgh right outside for college during the Bonds years. And they were always in the playoffs. And we could go down and walk up and get a ticket.
Yeah.
No matter playoff series.
Just to piggyback off what you guys are saying, Philadelphia these teams are a reflection of the city. And the city is a blue-collar city. It's a hardworking city, so we demand quality out of these teams. And when we don't see that...
I don't even know. Dude, I hear the blue-collar thing, honestly, like, that's kind of become a cliche. And you're right, like, to a degree, we are, right? But I think it's deeper than that. I think it's our personality type.
Part of
love.
it is
We love
we have chunks of Irish and Italian here, and they're very passionate people. They blow their tops when they get angry.
We're a melting pot, right? But it goes back to almost the soil, the Puritans versus the Quakers, Boston, Philly. Like, the Quakers were always about the group, and we're just these emotional beings. It was funny. We were joking around. But somebody did the meme of, sent me and I used to play it all the time on the show as a drop, when Frank Rizzo was the mayor. And he's like, listen, you crumb bum.
So
right?
good.
He's crumb bum. Oh, they're the best. The clip
Do you not know that clip?
You got to find this clip. The clip is, and play it as a nugget.
There's like a reporter trying to ask.
So I was about to,
you said
it. Yeah. So there's a reporter for probably Channel 6, right? And he's there, and he's there waiting on the corner as Frank Rizzo. Now, this is the mayor of Philadelphia, right? He's walking his dog. He's got the little dog. And Frank was like this big hulking guy. And he turns, and the reporter's there. Any comment, Mr. Mayor? And he turns around, and first he walks past him, then he walks back, and he kind of gets into his space, right? And he's big, right? So he's using his body, and he goes, listen to me. I'll take all three is right here. We'll go in the back, turn the cameras off. We'll go behind that wall, and then we'll have it out. Me versus the three is right now. How about that? And he goes, but you won't do it because you're yellow. He says, you're yellow, and you're a sniveling coward, and this is what it is, you creepo crumbum. Oh, it's great. And all I kept thinking about as I'm watching this is like, wow, that's the mayor of Philadelphia offering 3 reporters to fight him in the back of a schoolyard. Like, that's Philadelphia. And so you wonder why when Aaron Nola gets shelled, and people go, he stinks. Trade him. Get up. This is who we are as a city. We react. We can't have. You get how many million people in the Parkway to celebrate the Eagles parade, and people talking to their deceased relatives and crying. You can't have crying tears without the fight. So don't look into it. Just accept it.
I think he even says, "Let me put my dog away." I'll put my dog away.
I'm so shocked over his story.
He was like, listen, I'm 50 and 60 years old man, whatever it was, I'll fight you. I'll go here. Oh, yeah, you offered him out. All three is.
Oh,
and then whoever comes out, but you won't do it, you're yellow.
We've got some wacky mayors in this city. Holy crap.
It's awesome.
Well, that's like Philadelphia,
that is hilarious,
man.
though. That's crazy.
That's Philadelphia. Our mentality, that's who we are. It's so interesting. We're such unique beings.
We are.
I've always been fascinated by it, to be honest with you. I am. I like fascinated by the whole thing. All right, we got lots to do. All kinds of things. The dads we're going to get into as well. But we got to talk about the curse and the curse of the Wells Fargo Center. But first, let's talk about Dr. Andy. All right, because Sleep Healthy PA. I tell you about Sleep Healthy PA all the time. That's Dr. Andrew Cohen. So Dr. Andy has made it his business to stop the snore. Now, right? You have that issue and you can't get air in through your passageways at night and you make that sound. Right? That snore sound. I can do it easily now because my allergies are flaring up again every day. And that it's like almost imagine a garden hose where there's a chokehold and there's no water get through. Same thing with air, right? And it's so bad for you. You never get full REM sleep. You never get into that deep sleep where your body is healing itself, regenerating your cells, right? You never get to that point. And you're constantly waking up. It's terrible for your heart, all kinds of stuff. Bad, bad, bad. So do yourself a favor and see Dr. Andy. Dr. Andy's brilliant. He devised contraptions through dental. He's a dentist by trade. So he figured out a way through dental appliances to ditch the CPAP machine, right? And to open your passageways. He's a genius when it comes to this. Do yourself a favor. Get healthy with sleephealthypa.com and tell Dr. Andy we sent you.
Awesome stuff, cuz. All right, now that we're talking about sleep health, let's talk about your health of your pockets, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about TruMark Financial here, ladies and gentlemen. We've talked about my horror stories with banking, and I'm sure you guys have your own horror stories. But after speaking to TruMark Financial, guys, I feel a lot better about banking here. And let's talk a little bit about TruMark, all right? When you join a credit union like TruMark Financial, you become part owner, which means profits are coming right back to you instead of going to those shareholders. Better rates, lower fees, a better return on savings with more flexible options, and they provide all the same digital tools you get now. That Apple Pay, the app, all that good stuff, all your financing online, that they have that there for you. And the best part about it, we love rooting for local. We're talking about understanding the Philly sports fan. Well, TruMark Financial understands us best. They're located in Fort Washington with their 24 branches here in the Philadelphia area. And that's why we want to push TruMark, because we love supporting local here. Becoming a member of a credit union has so many benefits over becoming a customer at a bank. And here's what you got to do. Head on over to TruMark.com/PHLY. Again, that's TruMark.com/PHLY. You can also find a local branch near you. Like I said, 24 in this area. You can get your credit union career started here today. That's TruMark.com/PHLY, federally insured by the NCUA.
All right, TruMark also brings us the big story.
Big.
All right, the big story of the day. Always, this is the curse of the Wells Fargo Center as we see Dallas about to lose to Boston and Drew Holiday, and of course, Florida with the Bob about to win the Cup. And meanwhile, the Wells Fargo is dark. Look at our boy.
Where is he?
He's in his backyard. The bro is with the girls.
Yeah.
Good morning.
I got the two maniacs running around. Of course, Anthony, you know this. Like I said, I'm going to talk to Cuz. Just give me like 8 minutes. Here's Shrek. They got blankets on. They're all set up. They just had their cereal. Of course, as soon as I come out here to do the call, they start running around like maniacs. Paige is out on the swing set right now, so I'm trying to keep an eye on her. They just don't listen, these kids.
No, they don't. They have no idea. You have no idea. By the way, bro, happy Father's Day, my man.
Happy Father's Day.
Yes, happy one to you as well.
You're a great dad, and you they don't listen. It's a thankless job. The whole thing, my father came in to look at him. Oh, it's the best.
Oh, nice flower.
It looks nice, by the way, your backyard.
Awesome. Yeah.
I like it. My father came in last night.
I'm sorry.
And he took Massimo. We had a function at Anthony's school, and he took Massimo to baseball and all that. He comes in. Awesome. The house is like crazy. I'm like, dude, this is our lives. Like every day, it's chaos,
Yeah. Happy early Father's Day to Tony as well there. That's awesome, though.
Thank you, brother. So let's talk about this for a second. The curse of the Wells Fargo Center. You and I, do you remember when we exorcised the demons of Lincoln Financial Field? There was a thought that the Eagles couldn't win at the Link. They went 2 years without winning a game. Remember that?
Yeah, it was really bad. You had I believe a priest come in. We were up in, we were granted access to, I think Merrill Reese booth, maybe, or right next door in the press box. And we got to perform the exorcism of Lincoln Financial Field, and it worked.
Dude, it worked. All right.
Like,
we had a priest. We had, I think it was Father Sean, right? We had a Rabbi Sal. Remember Rabbi Sal?
Rabbi Sal came in, yep.
We had did we have a shaman? The guy was said he was a shaman.
It wasn't the January 6th shaman, but we might have had one.
Yeah, I think we had a shaman. We had a couple. I wanted the Wiccan, right? I was trying to get VG's wife.
Yeah, the pagan was trying to track people down for us.
Yes, because the listen, I'll never forget. I went to the park. It was on 8th and Lombard. And early in the morning, I got a cup of coffee, and I'm walking to work or wherever, and I see a bunch of women, Wiccans. They were in the witch outfits, like praying to the sun. You know.
I remember. It's like a full moon ceremony.
Yeah, but it was during the morning. It was early morning.
Yeah, but they worship when the full moon sometimes happens in the morning when the moon's the fullest. It can be like,
really?
Yeah, it can be any time of day.
Oh, get out. Yeah. But I think we got to. This Wells Fargo Center has been a disaster. I mean,
yeah, it's kind of came up in conversation yesterday. I said to you guys, do you know the only like real Philadelphian athletes to win there? It's Jeff Carter and Mike Richards with the Calder Cup, like the year after it was opened.
Wow.
Nobody's won there.
The Soul?
The building's cursed.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I mean, sure. I mean, maybe the Philadelphia Kicks are great.
Well, that's the part of the curse. Is that the only championship you got was Bon Jovi? That was it. I mean, come on.
A lot of sellouts there in a row. But, yeah, it's terrible for the Sixers and Flyers. It's a dump. I think we should blow it up. I know they just put like $500 million into it, but I fully support the Sixers' new arena just to get the hell out of that building.
I say we cleanse it, right? Like, let's try to cleanse the place. Like, go into the nooks and crannies of it.
That's a more practical idea.
Yeah. Because I don't think they're going to blow it up.
Yeah, is it cleansable?
I really think there's something there, though.
Yeah, that place, and you know what's funny? That was the house that Lindros built, right? Remember?
Yeah.
Like, Ed Snyder built that thing because of 88 and the whole thing. And in reality, 88 was
cursed.
He was.
Yeah.
So the guy was. Maybe we got to get 88 down there to lift the curse, because he's the one who brought he was cursed. The concussions. I mean, the whole thing's bad. And then even Iverson got infected by it.
I think Clarkie and Lindros need to hug it out and kiss at center ice.
Well, I mean, I don't want to, finalize Joel Embiid's career here, but if you look at Embiid and Lindros, I mean, they could be two of the sports greats, like what-if players.
Wow. You're a genius,
you know what I mean?
bro.
Like they're generational talents. I mean, Joel Embiid is the most talented player I've ever seen put on a Sixers uniform. Eric Lindros, in my lifetime, is probably the most talented Flyer I've ever seen put on the uniform. And both are kind of plagued by injuries, play in a building that's cursed, and just could never get it done. So blow it up. I'll start the petition right now.
You know what's funny? You're right in that Lindros and Embiid, there are stark parallels between the two of them. You're spot on. Could never get over the hump.
Yeah, and I don't want to see, Joel Embiid go end his career playing for the Rangers and, all these other kind of like sad farewell tours, trying to chase a ring still. And Lindros was okay after he left a little bit, but man, I don't know. That building sucks. I hate the Wells Fargo Center.
Well, think about it, right? What have we seen there, right? We had the one run with the Flyers in 2010, but how did that end?
I was on the ice
at home.
I was on the ice.
Chicago.
I was on the ice for NBC. I was working the hockey at the time, and I was on the ice in my shoes watching the Blackhawks skate around with the trophy. And I don't think I've ever been so mad in a working setting before in my life, because there was a sense of like shock that came over you from the goal, and then to see them and like they were such party boys, and like, God, Jonathan Taves and that stupid face, and Patrick Kane.
Patrick Kane.
And he's
Prediction Kane. That was terrible.
No good. It's no good. The building's no good.
All right, so let's think about this for a second. So that was probably the biggest moment of that building, and you lose the cup at home. Then you got the Sixers, and there's just been nothing other than 2001. And even the moments of 2001, the greatest moment was Game 1, but that happened in L.A.
Yeah, and you should have taken Game 2, and who knows what happens then. But I mean, like the most memorable Sixers or basketball moment professionally at the Wells Fargo Center is probably booing Destiny's Child during the All-Star game or finals or whatever it was.
Yes.
Like, that's what we got. That's the best memory, was booing their asses for wearing Lakers jerseys.
Yeah, you know, when you think back to it, you're right. Like the Lakers win on our floor.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's been horrible.
The only thing they've done well is lose. The process, they lost perfectly at Wells Fargo. They got the number 1 pick and multiple times and screwed it up every time.
And then you see Drew and Bob just like steamrolling their way to another parade. And it's just,
is the curse the building, right? And you know what's interesting is that the process begins with Holiday. Because that was it. Like, there was Sam Hinkie. Sam Hinkie said, you know, we're going to go into the process, and they trade. Hi, sweetheart.
Say hey, Uncle Aunt. How you doing?
Hi.
She brought her computer out, so she wanted to join the conference.
She's adorable. She's cool. Take care of
She
Daddy
also
on
says
Sunday.
the Wells Fargo Center sucks.
Yeah.
Hey, should we blow up the Wells Fargo Center? Yeah, totally.
That's adorable. She's so cute.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got to do something. All right, so let's make this a pet project.
You don't think we can? You don't think we can call Dan Halferty and the Flyers and like just blow it up? You don't think they want to
No,
start?
I don't think Dan's going to go that route.
No.
No.
What was it? $400 million they just invested in the place. That's going to.
Yeah, it's probably not the smartest thing to do is to blow it up. So we got to fumigate
for the record, that's where my vote stands.
I got you. Yeah, no,
just blow it up, start over, exercise the demons.
Yeah, no, I feel you, but I think they gotta, you know, I don't know, maybe you change the facade. Like you got to do some drastic, even more changes. You got to fumigate the place. Is really what you need. You need prayer. You need all kinds. It's got bad vibes to it.
Yeah, maybe an Allen Iverson like blunt circle at midcourt, and we bring in like a shaman and like all these dudes, and we just smoke the place out. What do you think about that?
I like it. I like smoking the place out. Yeah, old school, smoke it. All right, no gummies. Smoke the place out.
Man, I think it does need to be smoked out with the gummies. Try something different.
Yeah,
I love it, bro. Happy Father's Day. We love you, buddy. When you on? You got post game tonight?
Yeah, we got post game tonight. I'm really looking forward to this series, man. Heading down to Camden Yards, 2 of the best teams in baseball. And Ant, I'm just warning you right now, I am not going to shut the F up about Luis Robert until the trade deadline because of this. Let me just tell you this. I wrote out the lineup last night with him in it. As soon as I got to the number 9 hole with Brandon Marsh, I looked at the lineup and I went, holy bleep. You want to talk about a legit all-star team? Add Luis Robert in the 4 hole and just look at what happens.
Yeah.
I got Bro's lineup here.
All right.
Schwarber, Turner, Harper, Robert, Bohm, JT, Stott, Casty, Marsh.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Come on. That's
my only worry about Robert is he never stays healthy.
But here's the beauty of it. Even if he goes down, it's not going to kill you.
Well, no.
And
but are you going to trade? I mean? Here's the other issue. The White Sox are going to want your best prospects.
They can have anybody but Painter and Miller.
Yeah, it's going to start with. But they're going to ask for Painter, and Dombrowski's going to say no, and they're going to go, all right, well, I got to have Miller.
And then I'm going to go, you got to see this Sterling Caba kid. He's unbelievable. And Mick Abel. You get some of the advanced analytics on this kid. And, oh, yeah, you can have Johan Rojas, too.
Yeah, they don't care about Johan Rojas. The White Sox need their like a slew of prospects back. Like they got to turn their whole franchise around through Luis Robert.
Yeah, so it goes Rojas, Caba, Abel, and then take 2 other top 20 kids all year.
Junk. It's going to be Clausen, Miller.
Sure, throw them in. I don't care. Think I care about George Clausen? He gets me Luis Robert.
What about Miller? Are you gonna? Yeah, if they say it's Miller or no trade, it's Miller time. What are you doing?
Miller's untouchable.
Then you get no Robert.
Well, then we move on.
All right. I like it. Holding your ground. I like it, bro. Good stuff, my brother. Listen, enjoy the family. Happy Father's Day. Love you, buddy.
Yeah, love you too.
The brother.
Blow it up.
Blow it up. You're not going to blow it up.
Cashman goes to think Robert's hurt because it's a, quote, I'm on a crap team injury.
The only problem is he's been hurt for his whole career. You know, I love the guy. The guy's a tremendous player, but, you know, the injury history worries me, and I don't want to part with Miller.
No.
No.
Everybody's high on Miller.
Yeah.
Well, let alone pay. You would?
Yeah. I mean, for the right player, I don't know if Roberts is for me, but yeah, I would part with Miller.
Would you do it for the A's package?
Yes.
Yes.
I do Miller and Crawford for the A's package.
Yeah. All right. Couple things. One, this portion of the show is brought to you by the Bet Park Sportsbook and Casino app. And joining us from St. Bart's, he is living life. Like we go all over the globe on the show, right? But no one lives life as large as the brain.
Yeah, I thought Baldy did, but I don't know.
I think Brain's got Baldy a little.
I mean, if you're not following Brain on Twitter, get on it.
Yeah, you should. Time for the Brain.
Brain. Red the Brain Finder.
Hello, Brain.
What's going on, man?
All right, so let's get this out of the way early. All right?
Yeah.
So you posted, and for people need to follow at Brad's Best Bets on both Twitter and Instagram. All right? Because not just for your incredible picks, but also for your life, because you'll post a lot. And you and your fiance, right, were on a boat in St. Bart's, and it was an interesting video that you posted.
Well, first of all, I got to be honest. Full disclosure, I've never posted anything in my life. Victoria, my fiance, she does all that for me. So I'm not. I don't even have the technology. I'm living still in 1950. I'm not the technology poster, but she is. She's a social media maven, so she handles that stuff for me. I was like,
she's fantastic.
And she she is fantastic. I was sleeping, and she asked me for a pic, and I was like half asleep. So but it was beautiful on the boat. St. Bart's doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, I don't know that people are looking at the scenery, but yeah, they love the posts. You got a lot of props around here, Brain.
Bradley.
Oh, I got a lot of props.
Or as we call you, Bradley.
Yes. Yeah. No, it was,
at some point, that may get shown on the show. All right.
Hey, you can show it anytime you want on the show. Go ahead, man. You know, it could be my intro. You know what? The hitters have the walk-up music. That could be my walk-in.
Actually, you should put that with the Brain and have Brad on the boat.
Yeah, he's gonna get a new intro.
Yeah, you're gonna get a new intro. I love it.
It's funny when on TNT when they have the guys going fishing on the boat. You know, that could be now me. I could be on the boat. You know.
Yes. That's you. I love it.
Yeah.
Couple things we got to get to.
Yep. Sure.
The Wells Fargo Center. Now you're a Philadelphian, all right? The Wells Fargo Center It needs to be. I think it's cursed. It needs to be fumigated, decursed, deloused, whatever you want to use metaphorically. The Wells Fargo Center is a problem because we're about to see Drew Holiday, who started the process. When Sam Hinkie got here, Drew Holiday was the first player he traded and to start the process. All these years later, he's about to win. The Celtics could possibly sweep. And then Sergei Bobrovsky, the Bob, is about to win a Stanley Cup when Ed Snyder, right? Ed was so desperate for a goalie, he spent $50 million on Ilya Brizgalov and had Bob there. And they said two Russian goalies could never exist together. They get rid of Bob, and now Bob's going to win. And then you look back at the Wells Fargo, and not much good has happened.
I got to ask you a question, Anthony. Like, my brother said something to me, and it sounds crazy when I read this to you. Do you know, and I try to look it up. Maybe you can do the same or someone there can. He said Drew Holiday is going to become the second guard in like the last 60 years to be a starting point guard on two different teams, two different championship teams. And I would have thought there'd be like 8 or 9. It was just him and Dennis Johnson.
Wow.
In the last like 60 years. And I was like, that can't be. Then I looked it up. I was trying to like look it up. And I'm like, wow, is he really that unique that he's only the second guy to be a point guard to lead two different franchises to a title? Maybe I was just missing something, but I actually think he's right on it. I was like, wow, that's pretty crazy that there've only been 2 guys. They only been one.
Well, right, like because if you think about the notable point guards that switch teams, right? Like Chris Paul never won it. Yeah. Mo Cheeks played outside, but he didn't win it after the Sixers.
San Antonio kept winning. San Antonio won a bunch, but Tony Parker stayed. I mean, that was part of it too, right? The Warriors kept winning their titles. Whoever you want to count as their de facto point guard, I guess Steph or whatever. But I guess it was just.
I mean, Kyrie would have been the second.
Kyrie would have been the second. It was an either or situation.
Yeah. So Dennis Johnson won it with the Celtics Seattle. And the Sonics.
Yeah, he was the only one. When I looked it up, I don't know if you find anyone else. Because I would, if I would just guess how many there would have been, I would have guessed at least 6, 7. And when I saw there was no one, I was just like, how could that be? But it was just, I don't know. I thought it was interesting. But Drew Holiday,
it's fascinating.
I think he's had a Hall of Fame career. I think when his career is over and done, he will be enshrined in Massachusetts into the Hall of Fame. I think had that good of a career, and it's just just interesting. Yeah, you talk about cursed. Yeah, the Sixers got rid of him, and it's like, man, that was not a good move.
It was funny. Somebody brought up, Drew Holiday's such a great fit on the Celtics. I'm like, what team is Drew Holiday not a good fit on? He's a point guard who could score, and he plays defense, and he doesn't take a lot of shots.
Yeah, there's nothing. Again, he's one of those people that you just get. If you're trying to rip it, there's really nothing bad to say. He defends as good as anyone. He's unselfish. There's nothing he can't do. I mean, he's really just a well-rounded. There's really nothing bad to say about the guy. No teammates ever said anything bad about him. He's just had a brilliant carear.
Yeah.
Listen, he's
well. It's bizarre that Drew Holiday and Bob are both going to win, and again, you look back at Wells Fargo and you go, what good has happened there?
You're being fair. You're being fair. Again, it's look, the Sixers have had it's been like since the whole Embiid era has been, they've really had these chances. They cannot get out of the second round in any of these years. It's extremely upsetting. I'm curious, listen, to me this offseason, what's going to happen? Are they going to be able to land that big fish to go with the 2 guys? I'm very skeptical if that's going to be possible, Anthony. I mean, I know you have a lot of ins and a lot of
but the problem is the fish. A lot of the fish out there stinks. Like the fish smells.
There's only, in my opinion,
Paul George, right? Like Paul George, you look at Paul George, you go, terrific ball player, but he what's he doing in the playoffs when you need him the most? He shrinks. He's playoff PP.
Yeah, he's play. Well, listen, but again, let's be honest though. But again, that's been maybe again I say maybe a large part of it's just been due to horrible luck, him being injured every playoff. But again, to me, Embiid. Look, I heard a take on, I forget who it was saying it, but I agree with it. Again, as much as he's a great player, I feel like excuses are made for him to at least to a certain extent, because in the playoffs, he hasn't been one of those guys like a Luka who's carried the team to the finals. He just hasn't, or Jokic. I'm trying to listen. These mega superstars, and he's a mega superstar. He's not a superstar. He's a mega superstar.
No, listen.
It's
very real. He got hurt. He got hurt.
But Anthony, name one other mega superstar that has gotten his team to the finals. I'll give you as much time as you want. Anyone, go back in history.
Who has not gotten their final?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know. Well, listen.
I can't even name one. And he's a mega superstar. So again, at some point, I always say you can choose to be consistent in life. You choose to be right. I always try to choose to be right. Like, and I'm trying to be objective.
I agree with you. I just I look at him and I go, there is mitigating circumstances, right? Like, it's not an excuse. It's
absolutely.
The fact is,
you're right.
He's been hurt, and he got saddled with two guys like Ben Simmons and James Harden. That's
But again, as I said, go through time. Let's say name one other guy who's considered to be a legitimate consensus top 5 player that's never gone to a finals. Barkley got to 1. Patrick Ewing got to 1. I'm trying to think. Karl Malone obviously got with Utah. I'm trying to guys who didn't even win a title, but they got to the finals. Luka's gotten to the finals. Giannis has won his title. I really, Durant, Curry. I can't name honestly one player.
I mean, I think back to, I got to go way back,
Dominique
like Marcus
Wilkins,
Johnson.
Marcus Johnson's a great one, but did Marcus Johnson? He probably, Anthony, if you're being fair about it, I'm guessing, and again, I have to really go back, maybe 2 years of a true prime where he was top 5. He was great.
Dominique
was he
Wilkins.
top 5 more than 2 years? I said Dominique, but was he ever top 5? I don't know. I'd have to really go back in time. Was he top 5 player? There were some good players like Terry Cummings, who was a good player, whatever, never like elite. But I'm just saying, for a guy who's considered to be a consensus
listen,
player, again,
you're right.
He didn't get to the conference finals.
Listen, that's the point. And I can make all the excuses I want, but he hasn't done it. And you're right. Like, whatever the circumstances, you want to call him unlucky. Like, I don't think he's a choke.
No, I'm not saying that.
Yeah, but he's not done it. He's just not done it.
It just hasn't done it. And again, part of it is due to circumstance, 100%. But I really do think, and you watch all these games, and you're legitimate. You know the sport as good as anyone I know. And I'm really trying to be objective. But when I watch these playoff games, and if you look at it, again, the numbers don't lie. His shooting percentage goes down drastically. And I mean, I'm talking drastically from the regular season. He doesn't score as efficiently anywhere close as he does in the regular season. Again, and I'm not saying
and listen, I get that. I just think that's easily explained with 3 factors. One, people play defense in the playoffs. They also roll a lot of their coverage, right? Like in football, like they make sure that Embiid's not going to beat you. He got saddled with Simmons for all those years, right? Which never allowed him to, the spacing to go get 50 every night. He's been hurt. I mean, like, all those factors come into play, but it doesn't change the point that he's never been out of the second round. So, it goes back to that. And it goes back to the Wells Fargo Center, right?
Yeah,
nothing good has happened at the Wells Fargo Center.
No, it hasn't. But Anthony, it's funny. And I remember you said to me last year when we talked off air, you said, watch out, the Flyers are going to be improved this year. They're actually going to be coming on the upswing. They did have a really nice year. Again, I'm not saying there's going to be a parade on Broad Street.
No, I'm bullish with the Flyers. Listen, I love where the Flyers are headed. It's not going to happen next year. 2 years from now, I think that they're going to be the next team that they're going to rise. I mean, that's the cycle of it all. They're going to be good.
I heard you talking about the other day. Was it the Gauthier pick? Again, that was the only thing. They this guy that a lot of people thought was going to be a crazy superstar. And it was like, and you said it's like Marco. It's like, to me, that's just I guess if you can't make something work, again, if a guy just refuses to come here, if this guy becomes like a really good player,
JD Drew, right?
JD Drew, right? And JD Drew, at least he had a really good career, but not a Hall of Fame career, at least. But yeah, but that to me was just for what they got back in the trade. You know, we'll see. But it just seems like that really could be a wasted opportunity for a player.
No, that was a disaster. Let's face it. The two disasters they walked into were, Carter Hart and Gauthier, right?
Like, there's nothing. But the Carter Hart thing, listen.
Well, there's nothing they can do with either of them. I mean, because Gauthier doesn't want to come and play.
No, but I got to ask you a question, Anthony. As a guy who's an intelligent man, like, I'm trying to think, like, how could someone just be that? I'm trying to, I always try to understand both points of view in life, which is, I think, so important in life. Just because you think something doesn't mean you're right. I'm trying to understand why someone would be so anti-Philadelphia. It's it's a tremendous fan base. It's a great city. I don't know. I'm trying to think what. He's not going to go anywhere in the Northeast.
And we've been talking about this all morning because the Phillies lose last night. Nola gets hit around, and he's getting buried today, right? People are freaking.
One start, dude.
No, we know that, right? But the fan base is emotional. If you got everyone intellectually, alone, intellectually, they would understand it, right? They go, yeah, it's one game, it's baseball, the whole thing. But there's a collective emotion. We don't stop to take a breath. We just react. He's a bum. The Phillies lost. My night, you ruined my night. They expect to win every game. We view sports through the prism of football. Every game's a football game. That's how we view it.
But let me ask you a question. Is New York like that? Is Boston like that? The Northeast is my favorite section of sports fans by a million. To me, if I was an athlete, I really want to play in the Northeast.
Yes, the New Yorkers are like that in the boroughs, right? Bronx.
I only want to play. I want to play in the Northeast. I like the Northeast towns in terms of the sports. Those are true sports fans to me. They care. They care.
You're right, but if you're a kid that's from North Dakota, right? And you come to Philadelphia and you got people following you and, knocking at your door and, they're in your business. It can freak a guy like him out. Right? Wentz, Wentz never got Philadelphia. He was an ill fit for us because he didn't understand what football meant.
Well, Anthony, would he have said the same thing going to the Rangers? That's my question. Was the same thing going to the Rangers? Going to the Bruins, would he have that same answer, or you have no clue? I'm curious. Do you think it's specifically Philadelphia, or what you said more like a Northeast, really?
My guess it's more like the Northeast. He probably Boston. Okay. I think the Rangers. Yeah, I do. I think that kid. Okay. I think there's some athletes. Listen, dude. I remember writing stories when I was at the Post how they were not New Yorker. You had to be ready for New York. You had to be New York ready, and some guys weren't. And it's the same thing in Philadelphia. So, yeah, I would agree.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, but that is really going to be a shame if he becomes this great player, and they had a chance to have that work. I'm sure they did everything they could to make it work. I'll root against him. All the way. Christ, but there's the old saying, Anthony. Truest. My dad used to say this to me. It's the truest saying in life. You only can lead a horse to water. You can't make him drink it. And if you're telling this guy this is a great town, a great city, if you're good, you're going to be a hero. You're going to love it. They're going to support the hell out of you. Philadelphia is an incredible fan base. Just give these people a chance. If you work hard, they're going to idolize you and they're going to treat you amazing. But again, if this kid can't look, I don't know. Maybe he got bad advice for this.
All right. I completely feel you on that. All right. So let's real quick. Anything U.S. Open wise?
Well, look. Yesterday, we had Rory who got. And listen, I mean, we'll see what it is. Rory, obviously, he's every tournament he's won. He's been leading after the first round. We saw that he shot 5 under with Patrick Cantlay, but Cantlay's round I thought was more lucky of the two. He just made some longer putts, which probably isn't sustainable as much. Scheffler's one over. I didn't see what the odds were on Scheffler, but I would never give up on Scotty Scheffler ever. And he was 6 shots back, not like he's like 15 shots back, and still 3 rounds to go. You think about that's 2 rounds, a shot, 2 shots around for Scheffler. Scheffler would still be the guy I would always be looking at in any tournament, and now its odds just got higher if anything else. So, but obviously Rory's going to be tough.
Anything you like baseball today?
There is. And they do things. Look, as you know from doing the show, and I keep giving it out, and it's been winning. I love Tariq Skubal. 5-inning line against Hunter Brown, who actually has been pitching better recently. Hunter Brown, he really has.
Hunter Brown from the Astros and Skubal from the Tigers. Yep.
Skubal for the Tigers, Anthony. Detroit Tigers minus 114 right now on the Park site in the 5-inning line. Again, you're going to give me basically him in a pick against an Astros team that can't win a game. Again, when it's like 1973 Philadelphia Phillies with Steve Carlton. When Tariq Skubal pitches, the Tigers are the best team in baseball. I mean, I think he's 10-1, 9-1.
Did you see did you see what he did against the Dodgers?
Does it against everyone? Again, it's like anytime you get nervous about their team has a good offense, you have to check yourself. Say the over-unders in the All-Star game, Anthony, are like 7.5. 7.5. We're going against hitters like Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani, because pitching always beats hitting. I'll take my chances right now that him minus 114, and then I'll give you a long shot bet that I think has legs. Cody Bellinger was plus 220 to get an RBI. He's getting an RBI, Anthony, in 43% of his games this year. So that's only about plus $1, like 40 or so, and he getting plus 220. And the last 3 years, he's 38% to get an RBI. Over 3 years of data, which means should be around plus $1.60, getting plus 220 on the Park site. Best number on the market. Kyle Gibson, your favorite.
That's good. That's a good bet.
Plus
right-handed pitcher against Bellinger?
Against a lefty. Yeah, way too high. Again, that line should be about plus 150 to plus 160. Park's giving an extra 50, 60 cents. Listen, that's a really strong bet in my opinion. That line is best number in the world right now, and I like that bet very much. Yeah,
that's very good. Anything in the basketball game?
I sound like such a broken record here. I'm embarrassed, but I'm not betting it, but only can lean Dallas in that I think they will win a game. I'm not trying to be stubborn here. I'm not betting it, not releasing it to my clients. But if you ask me who I think is going to win, I do think Dallas will do like Minnesota did. I think they will take this back to Boston. I think they'll end in 5, but I don't think they'll be swept. And I'll tell you a bet I would actually let you go on. I haven't seen what Parks has. But an alternate bet, if you took Dallas to win by double digits, I actually not only think Dallas is going to win this game. And again, I'm not betting it, but I think Dallas is actually going to win this game though by margin. And I think it could be like one of those like 107 to like 86 kind of games. I like Dallas.
I totally see. Boston always has one of those clunkers in them when it's serious.
They always have one of those clunkers, exactly, and that you probably can get. I'm guessing 5-6 to 1 odds, something like that. So for a pizza bet.
I like it.
But I'm saying double digits. I would rather take a chance and try to get a grand slam there.
Yeah, that's a good play. At Brad's Best Bets on Twitter and Instagram. You got to follow him at Brad'sBestBets.com. We love you. Tell Victoria we say hello.
I'll tell Victoria you say hello. You're a guy. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you Monday, Anthony.
See you, buddy. Take care. Yeah, have a great Happy Father's Day. There he is, the brain. Checking it. Does he have the video, Andrew?
He does. I guess we can't play audio.
I can't play the audio.
I can
put it up if you want to see it.
Well, I think the audience would like to see it.
Let me fish it up.
Do it into the nuggets. Yeah. We're good. We're
Nugs.
Good. Oh, that is great. All right. All the stuff Brad talks about. The Bet Parks Sportsbook and Casino app. It's a Bet Parks Friday. Bet Parks, proud official betting operator of the PGA Tour. That's right. U.S. Open underway at Pinehurst. Here you go. $25 on Rory right now. Pays $76. $25 on Scotty Scheffler. $137.50. $25 on Patrick Cantlay. $187.50. All right. I agree with the brain. Stay away from Cantlay. He was lucky yesterday. How about this? Fighting tonight. Ranger against Baltimore. It's going to be a great series. Phillies O's. Live bet while you watch the game on the Bet Parks online casino and sportsbook app. Bet the first innings, the first 5 innings, the whole game. Bet more than the score. You got player performances, hits, home runs, strikeouts. Plus, you can play casino games with live dealers while you're watching the baseball. Live baccarat, live roulette, live blackjack games, several of them. Play them all right now with a live dealer right on your phone with the Bet Parks online and casino sportsbook app. Hundreds of exciting online slots. How about the new one, Slingo, Fire and Ice, fantastic fireworks, Lucky Cherry, all the action, excitement from the casino right at your fingertips. Safe, simple, easy to use. You got to know it, man. It's the only app I'll recommend. Great offers for new users. How about this? Download the Bet Parks online casino and sportsbook, and right now get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. BetParks.com has all the details. Got to be 21 in PA, New Jersey, Maryland, Ohio, Michigan. Gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. You love to play. You play to win. You bet. Bet Parks.
Well, because. All right, guys, listen. It is Father's Day weekend, all right? I know a lot of us, me too. I'm not going to lie, me as well. We're looking for some of those last-minute Father's Day gifts. You don't know what to get Dad? Let me give you a little bit of idea here, all right? How about maybe some tickets to a concert or sporting event? And you could do that with the Game Time app, ladies and gentlemen. A Game Time app is the best, guys, all right? It's the place where not only can you save some money on some tickets, but it's accessible and it's easy to use. It's a free app. Download it right now. The best part about it is you can see the seats that you're buying for these events before you buy them. Not a lot of apps are doing that. You can see all the fees that they're going to charge you right before the checkout page. No more of those days where you hit the checkout page and here comes $2,000 worth of fees, right? No, not with the Game Time app. And of course, they guarantee you the lowest prices, and especially if you're doing some of those last minute ticket buying. You know, you go down to the tailgate for the Phillies game and you don't have your tickets. You're looking for some. You can go right before, a couple minutes before the first pitch, find the cheapest ticket, and go right into the game. Guys, Cuz just told you, this weekend, it's a Baltimore trip. It's not that far of a trip. It's a beautiful ballpark as well. Head on over to the Game Time app to find some of those best deals right now. And as always, guys, we got you hooked up with that promo code. All right, if you use the promo code PHLY for your first purchase, has to be your first purchase, you'll get $20 off your tickets. Again, PHLY is the code, $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. You have to create the account and use that code, and you'll get your $20 off. So, guys, last minute Father's Day present buying. Consider Game Time. Some tickets help. Some tickets do help.
All right, this portion of the show brought to you by Rite Aid. Get all of your goods that you need and all of your meds. Rite Aid. RiteAid.com. Vaccines, whatever you need. All right, boys. It's Father's Day weekend, and I got the Father's Day 5.
Ooh, yeah.
All right, so I want to hit you guys with the Father's Day 5.
Love it.
In this clubhouse. And by the way, I do want you guys to think about ways we can cleanse the Wells Fargo Center.
Well,
I mean, religious, come on, Columbia, they got to have some rituals.
I mean, not where I'm from, but definitely like the indigenous people up in North definitely have some rituals. But I thought about, I don't know if you guys remember 1999, the wild card round between the Saints and the Rams. I remember watching on NFL Films. They did like the little voodoo because they thought the Superdome
for voodoo.
They thought the Superdome was cursed for the longest time, and then they beat the Rams. I think that was their first playoff win like over 30 years.
Listen, you want to do voodoo? You want to do Santeria? I'm down.
You had a witch doctor at the last one.
That's right, a witch doctor. I had a witch doctor.
Let's get all the cursed players, coaches, everybody,
and have
them all do ayahuasca inside the Wells Fargo Center. One night, ayahuasca, they all just like trip balls and then just cleanse it gone.
That'd be awesome. You have like the drums in the background.
Yeah, you get Embiid, you get Lindros, you get them all.
Drumming.
Yeah,
and you just ayahuasca the
Not
crap
a bad
out of
idea.
that.
I would like to take a collection of people down there, though. Really, like we could get.
You
a
need high
priest,
level. You need popes. You need cardinals or something. I don't know. I think we're beyond priest level.
We're bad.
This is like a
because you know what it is?
Big possession. We need an exorcist. A priest that specializes in exorcisms.
You know what it is, cuz
there's like a priest I read about in Philadelphia, in our area,
that does it.
That goes to Rome for these, exorcisms.
Well,
we need their number.
Yeah, we sure.
You know what it is, cuz?
What's that?
It's the name. Because on July 27th, 2010, the PHLY Flyers did this show. July 27, 2010, that's when we changed from the Wachovia Center to the Wells Fargo Center. And because ever since the Wells Fargo Center's been the name, nothing good has happened in that arena. Well, at least with the Wachovia Center,
but it was bad with the Wachovia.
Nothing's happened.
Well, we had the 2010 run at least.
Yeah, but
that was fun.
And how did it end?
I know, but
with a beach ball in the net.
And we lost to a dynasty in the making.
It's always been, the building's always been cursed. Core States. The thing used to be the
that was
Core
a terrible
States.
name.
It's the name of a bank. And you have the bank, and banks change. They get bought out. It's the whole place has been bad. It's been bad from the beginning.
That's the Michael Layton
JP,
run, right?
Stop looking at things through Nicola Rose. Oh, it wasn't that bad. Yes, it is. It sucks.
It's such a,
Go get your grandmother. Your grandmother's got to have some sort of...
Yeah.
You want to bring Fabiola? You want to bring Fabiola from Canada?
Yeah, she's got to have some reach.
Dude, we got some Spectrum memories. You got nothing in that building. Nothing.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. You don't know the Spectrum.
I know
nothing
Phantoms
in this
games at the
building.
Spectrum.
What's that?
I used to go to Phantoms games at the Spectrum.
Yeah,
That's
I've
the only
been
thing I
there.
know about the
Well,
Spectrum.
that's it. But it had real moments.
It did. No.
It did.
Gravitas. It was fun. The Spectrum, yeah. It felt like winners.
All right,
When
so
you look at the date of those banners that hang up.
Am I right here? We have never seen an NBA or NHL finals like victory. Like when the Flyers won in 74, 75, they won in Boston and they won in Buffalo.
Oh, wow.
And the Sixers, when they won in 83, won in LA.
Oh, wow.
These two teams stink. I don't know. It's beyond the building.
So we've never seen a championship like at home. Wow.
Yeah, that stinks.
Yeah.
That stinks, man.
We've never seen
That's
a
tough.
championship. Like there's never been like a celebration that we saw at the Vet in 80 and at Citizens Bank Park in 08. I mean, we saw two NFC championship games at the Link.
What was the first bank name? Was it Core States?
I think
the
it was
first
Core
time,
States.
or was it FU?
So at the Paco, one of the Paco
First
stations.
Union.
FU is the appropriate one. It's the FU center to all of us.
That was awesome. Yeah, the like 13th in Walnut at the Paco station has a picture of that. The Core States. Yeah, the original one. Because
It was then it became FU.
Yeah.
so
Then it became Wachovia.
Yeah. Just a string of.
Yeah.
back in the 60s, we had above Spectrum, we had JFK Stadium. Any bad juju, because that's where the Wells Fargo Center is now. Any bad juju happened there?
At JFK?
I wonder if that has any connection to
JFK, you got Live Aid was there. Monsters of Rock was there. Monsters of Rock. I used to love
Monsters
JFK.
of Rock.
It's just a big out. There's no shade. You're just out there in the summer getting sunburned everywhere.
JFK it was worse than the Vet.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just concrete everywhere.
what do we use that for?
It was concerts.
It's just concert venues?
Yeah.
It makes sense because the side closest to the city skyline was just open.
Yeah, it was like
So that makes
it was
sense.
like that place was.
It was like I feel like they had troughs. You go to the
with the
bathroom.
dungeon. Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, it was medieval.
Was it like
Man.
Municipal Stadium, and then they named it JFK.
Yeah, it
Stadium?
was medieval, dude.
Yeah.
They were doing torture like in the basement.
That's what
Like,
it is, cuz. That's
yeah.
what it is right there.
Yeah, is
It's
it built
cursed there.
on like a burial ground or something? Is there something that's there that could be?
It's the
They
curse
need
of
to do a dig
JFK.
They need to do a dig.
I don't know, dude. I gotta look into it. I don't know. Maybe we'll
You
go
just
back.
said there was torches going on in Big
I'm
Sense there.
joking around, but you know,
You know what's a stomach
I
flipper?
don't know. What's that?
Jaden Springer is going to win a
Oh
championship.
yeah, I mean,
Jaded Springer. My God, that's unbelievable.
we just traded him for assets, right? That's for a pick.
Oh, man.
Jason Reeves in the chat
Isn't
says he
that like-
saw a boxing match at JFK.
Wow, are you serious?
That's got to be cool.
Those guys had to look so tiny.
There was a fight at JFK.
I mean, I think that's what he. Oh, unless there maybe the Civic Center. You'll have to clarify.
Oh, that had to be
probably.
Civic Center. There's probably wrestling at JFK.
Jason also says lots of memories at Wells Fargo. Patrick King goal, Patrick Elias goal, Lindros hit by Stevens.
Patrick Elias.
Tampa lost in 04, Robert Horry in 01, Game 3 loss, and Detroit lost in set 97.
Oh man.
Oh my God!
Going, dude.
Oh my God! Think about all the losses that have happened at the Wells Fargo Center.
Nothing.
Think about it. been horrible.
Yeah, but the worst is Game 7 against Atlanta in 21. I talked about that with
Dude,
Andrew before.
I mean, like,
Oh man, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. There's been so many bad things. You're right. It was horrible. How about Simmons just passing up the dunk?
The ball.
Like, what was scaring you? Trae Young's bad hair? Like, come on, dude. He's an ant compared to
Dude,
you.
you know what was terrible? Is I had a book deal that I thought that was the year. Like, I was chronicling the process. And I was on the road with them. I went on the road. I was doing this whole big book. But they wanted to release it once you get to the finals, right? And Father's Day, like that was the year.
Yeah, Father's Day.
And I'll never forget watching Father's Day, me and the kids, Tam, and I was stunned they lost that game.
I wasn't right. I had to take a walk.
I was
after.
stunned they lost. How could you lose that freaking game? And it's Simmons passing off the dunk. And then he's got the balls. Think about the stones on that guy.
I know where you're going.
Right now, the next they wanted to be traded.
Yeah.
Are you nuts?
Use the mental health card.
What
That's a JO move. Big JO move.
You got to put it in perspective. He's 6'11".
You saw Trae Young.
6'11".
Trae
and
Young.
Trae Young
did not dunk from a foot and a
Trae
half.
Young.
He's a crumb
dunked the ball
team.
Trae Young
1,000 times
sitting
in this
front of
league.
him. He's got a foot on Trae Young. And he wouldn't go and just dunk it.
Trae Young, who couldn't grab his elbows. That's how tall Ben Simmons is.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, the
Two
center's
franchises
cursed.
are
It's
miserable.
Is Uncle Frank right? Uncle Frank says it was built on top of a Sioux tribal burial ground.
Well, that would
See,
explain
that's
a
it.
lot.
If Uncle
Is
Frank
that
is right
true?
on that.
Something,
Yeah,
Uncle Frank, is that real?
something
Tell
with
him
that
to
land
call
is
in.
not right. Something with that. I'm telling you, it's that land that we built it on is not right.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
if it's
know
a
what it is.
berial
Are the
ground,
Sioux
man.
around here?
I don't know. He
Pennsylvania?
might be making that up. Uncle Frank
Lenape. I know the
might be-
Lenape were.
Attempted humor.
Maybe. Uncle Frank likes to spin some yarn. All right, here you go. We got the Father's Day 5.
Okay.
You guys ready?
I think so.
All right,
Let's
here
do
we
it.
go. Give me your best father-son sports moment. I always tell you mine. With my father, we were at the championship game. I was a little boy. Eagles, Cowboys, and it was 1980 at the Vet, and he had the big green army blanket. It was freezing cold, and I'll never forget. It was that was an indoctrination into what we saw about what it was like to be an Eagles fan. Guys, I remember how freezing. Guys with no shirts. When you're like 10 years old, you're looking up and going, oh, my God. It was awesome.
I remember that day well. I was outside because, Papa was always hustling. We were selling. I was on the corner with him selling like Eagles pennants and gear.
that's
It was
awesome.
so cold.
It was freezing.
Yeah.
Those are great
like,
memories, though.
Everyone's just screaming like bleep down.
Yeah.
You're like, I was like 8 years old. I was like,
I hated Dallas.
That is awesome. Great story, man.
What's your best father-son sports moment?
All
Your
right.
dad.
My final year, Pop Warner, Cherry Hill M-word league here. So my last game in this league, playoff game, we're playing. So we were the Rams. We're playing the Lions. The Lions we always struggled against. So the playoff game, my dad, it's a rainy, cold day. It's late fall. And my dad's out there, he could have been working in Philly or whatnot. He was out there in that cold, videotaping the game, even though we got killed. But he was just, wanted to be in the moment with me. And that's a moment that I'll never forget. Because, we talked about it before. My dad's not a sports guy.
Right.
He's a Colombian, straight from Colombia. He doesn't even really even like soccer, which is crazy. I'm the soccer fan in the family. So for him to be there, showing some support, showing some love, videotaping as we're getting killed by the Lions, that's one of the moments that always sticks in my mind.
That's awesome. That's good stuff.
Great story.
That's good stuff. What do you got there, man, in the box? You and your dad.
Man, it had to be 2007, 2008, right around the time we won the World Series. My dad takes me to the Phillies game. It's me, my mom, and my dad, and we're sitting third baseline, so I'd say like 135-ish. Howard hits a foul ball. My dad bare hand catches it. and gives me the ball, and I still have the ball.
Nice
dude,
barehand
that's
catch.
Yeah, he stood up, all the people around him, and he grabs it, and I still have the ball today.
Because you got to meet Mr.
dude.
Frazier. He's a baseball guy. Big baseball.
That's fantastic.
He loves bunting, too, and he wishes they would bunt more.
He kept bringing that up on Sunday.
I love the bunting.
They don't know how to bunt anymore.
Yeah, he's
He
an
was
old school
awesome.
baseball guy.
Yeah, bunting. He
Yeah.
loves the bunting.
Oh, God bless him. That's awesome.
that's
I love
cool.
that. BG, best father-son.
I mean,
With the fireman?
I used to love just having a catch, but golf, we lived near Juniata Golf Course. You know, golf's a little pricey. But there was a gap in the fence on Wyoming Avenue. And right about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, my dad, we'd grab our bags and sneak through the little gap on the fence. And he'd be like, if anyone asks, just act like we've been here all day. And like, we'd do like 9 holes, like 4 holes in the back. We'd
That's
sneak
sick,
on.
VJ.
That's awesome.
It was good.
That's cool. That's very cool. I love that.
That's a good story for your dad, VJ.
That's great. All right, give me this. Give me, because Father's Day is a celebration of manhood, right? You know, it's guys. Like, give me your ultimate man day. Like, you could do whatever you want.
With my dad or just in general?
Whatever you want. You, your dad, or just you.
Well, if it's just me and my dad's very simple. He just needs a couch, a TV, some movies, and a bunch of Colombian food. That's like the best day with my dad. But for me personally, best man's day, give me some beer, give me some sports, give me some body of water, ocean, pool, whatever it may be. I'm simple with that. That's my ultimate.
All
man
right,
day.
so you're at a bar, pool bar, watching a game.
Something like that. Yeah. You can be at home. Just I love those three combination.
All right, there
Those
you
big
go.
three.
Frazier.
Man day, I'm going to go with my dad. Playing some golf would be the start.
That's right, you're a golfer.
Go out and play golf with dad, play 18, come home and make some like microwave nachos, you know, they just throw the Tostitos in there with the cheese, melt them, and then probably watch some crappy movie like a Marvel movie or Lord of the Rings or something like that at the end of the day.
Very cool. I love it. I love it. VG?
I'll start off with some golf too. Maybe I see Frazier out there. You know, some golf. Probably hit the casino for lunch. Play a little table games. Hit a baseball game, I think. Go see the ladies afterwards. And support the arts and some dancers. Finish off at Pen and Pencil. It's a great day. Full day.
Go see the ladies.
What ladies are you seeing?
Oh my God, that is the greatest. All right, give me this. Give me your favorite father-son sports duos in sports. I'll start with you, JP. I'll give you mine first. I love the Mannings at Peyton and Archie.
That's a good one.
I wrote a story for Esquire magazine about Archie Manning's advice to a new dad. Anthony was just born, and I pitched the story that I want advice for a young football player. He's a baby, right? What's the best advice? So I went to Archie Manning, and I wrote the story about Archie Manning giving me advice about my son. And Archie talked about the number 8. And the number 8 was his belt. And he had this belt. And it was like a big buckle with the 8, right? And it was to hang in his room. And every time Peyton and Eli got into trouble, he would bring out the belt. And they were afraid of the number 8. And they called it the number 8.
This is crazy.
And I remember talking to Peyton, right, about this. And Peyton said, yeah, dude, he goes, one time the Little League concession stand was open. And me, Eli, and a couple of our friends raided the concession stand. We're eating hot dog, you know, for nothing, right, whatever. Word gets into it to back to Archie that they, you know, robbed the concession stand, all the food, and the number 8 came out.
Man.
And he goes, listen, 99 out of 100 times, he never used the number 8, but that one he did. The
This
number
is your
8.
best,
Number 8.
best duo father-son.
Tell me that's not a great story.
We're beating him with a belt. This is your favorite duo.
That's your selling point right there is the belt.
The number 8.
I was like
Tell me
ready.
that's not a great story.
Oh, my God.
I was ready for some great words of advice.
You know, it was more like a thing. Archie was a great dad. Like, you know, it was more for show than anything else. He wasn't an abuser.
You
It
know,
wasn't Michael
just-
Jackson.
It's
Yeah, they
still
were joking
fear up
around.
there.
Yeah,
Getting
yeah.
Well,
whipped
like
with a
Payne
belt.
Payne was like, dude, like that number 8 will stare at me.
BG's thinking like Adrian Peterson over here.
Oh, man.
Oh man,
No mental
Oh.
trauma there. The belt hanging in the room.
Yeah, just
better-
flash the belt.
You
I'm
better
done.
complete this pass.
Oh, man.
So what do you got, JP?
Best father son duo. Philly sports. Let's go Howie Long and Chris Long.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Very good. I like it. What do you got, Frazier?
The Griffies. I
Yeah.
love Ken Griffey Jr. was my favorite player growing up in
Yeah.
baseball. So I just love the fact that they played together and all that stuff.
That's
so
pretty cool.
you know, yeah.
I love Griffey too.
Yeah.
Greg. He's one of the greatest dudes ever. He loved John Marzano. Loved Johnny Mars. And I got to be close with Junior through Johnny Mars.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he was a great dude. One of the greatest guys. He was legit. What do you got, VG?
You know, I'm just in the moment. I'm a big fan of the Trots right now. When they were on the show, they're just happy. They make me feel
That's
good.
good,
I really
EJ.
hope it works out for
Okay.
young Trotter. You
Me
know?
too.
They're solid.
Rooting for him.
Yeah.
The Axe guys.
Yeah.
I mean, Trot makes you
Yeah,
feel good.
yeah.
Never rooted harder for a 5th rounder in my life.
Ammo 23 in the chat room. Gordy and Mark Howell. It's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great one.
Flyer. Mark
Yeah.
Howell's a great defenseman. Number 2. He was a great defenseman.
Best
Oh, yeah.
Flyers defenseman ever.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever. He was amazing. All right. Question number 4. You get to pick your own TV dad and your own movie dad.
Oh, both?
All right. So you get a TV dad and a movie dad that you get to pick to be your father. All right. So, Frazier, I'll start with you, Andrew.
TV dad, I know, right? Easily, it would be Bryan Cranston from Malcolm in the Middle. I just think that would be so funny. I just always thought he was a funny character. Movie dad, man,
You can pick anyone you want.
who would I pick? Who would
you
I
can
pick? for
Don
movie?
Corleone if you want. He'd be a good father. Don Corleone.
Sure.
Right?
He's a good
Yeah,
movie
man.
dad.
He was a
Good
good
perks.
By the way, he was a good dad.
Yeah.
You know, he knew Fredo was weak,
Yes, he did
right?
know Fredo.
But he also coddled him, right? Like
Yeah.
he knew he knew Sonny was a hothead,
Yes,
like,
he did.
right? Like, and he understood it, and he loved Michael. He didn't want Michael to be a part of it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Loving guy, a loving dad
Yeah,
with a hell of a good perks.
yeah,
No one's messing with you.
yeah.
Whatever you want to go to a ball game, you sit wherever you want.
You're the Don's kid. Forget
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got there, my man JP?
All right, so for TV, this one's tough, but I went with Uncle Phil. Obviously, wasn't the father
Right,
of
it's
Will.
a father figure, though.
But he was a
That's-
father figure.
that
He
counts.
Stepped up in a big way for Will. And then for movie, I'm going Chris Gardner. He's from The Pursuit of Happiness. Will Smith again. Will Smith character there. Just that whole story. Like, did you watch Pursuit of Happiness?
No.
So in the story, it's
I'm not the biggest Will Smith fan.
Yeah,
Okay.
me neither.
So he was homeless throughout the entire movie, and then he wanted to get into finance. That was his dream, getting into finance. So you see him going from a homeless man selling like these dental like machines that he was terrible at selling, but he had that passion. So you see him going from homeless. Like there's a crazy scene where he doesn't have a place to stay for the night. So him and his son locked themselves into like the train station janitor's room. So seeing him go from that struggle to reaching his dreams, that's the Pursuit of Happiness title.
Okay.
I thought that's my TV. That's my
All
movie
right.
dad.
All right.
Chris Gardner.
That's a bust out one. You ever read The Road, Cormac McCarthy?
No, I have not.
Oh yeah, that's a
You read
great.
it?
Yeah, I read it and
It's a
watched the
gr-
movie.
It's a great book, and it's about this father and son. So it's post-apocalyptic, right? And there was a nuclear war, and they're trying to get through. Now it's like the rest of humanity that survives, and the oceans are poison and everything. So they're stumbling, and they stumble into a house, and it's a great scene, right? Like it's all about keeping his son alive, right? And it's a great book, but there's a scene where they stumble into a house that's been abandoned, and they open the refrigerator. The fridge still works, right? And there's a cold Coke, and nobody had ever the son never knew about a Coke, and he gave the son the Coke, and the son went nuts. It was a great scene in the book. It was really.
You ever see the
interesting.
movie? Viggo Mortensen plays the
didn't.
father.
You know what? I love the book so much that I didn't want to see the movie.
It's good.
Because
It's
you
good.
ruined it
It's a
for
really
me.
good movie.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Who we got?
TV. I really like Modern Family's Phil Dunphy. He's like a real estate agent guy. He always tries hard to make the family together. He usually fails, but he means well. He's supportive. I don't think I'd have many issues, I don't think, with him as a father. And you got to go Clark Griswold. I mean, is there any
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Trying to
That is a
make
good one.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Christmas Vacation, my favorite Christmas
That's a
movie.
great one. All right, finally, the 3 best father figures in Philadelphia sports history.
Okay.
Ooh, history.
Yeah.
All right.
So who are your 3? Like, number 1 to me, I'll just give you my number 1, would be Charlie Manuel.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's on my
I
list.
think the
Yeah.
Skip is number 1 as a father figure.
Yes.
Uncle Charlie, the father figure, he's got that right there back with you, son.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's got that way about him. All right, what do you got?
All right. So 1, I'm going Jim Curtin.
You love
the Jimmy.
You love Jim Curtin.
Love you, Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Number 2, going Doug Peterson. And then number 3, I'm going with Anthony L. Gargano because I love hearing your stories. You're a big part of Philadelphia sports history. And God bless, hopefully one day I do get to that point. I love hearing your stories with Anthony Moss, and it definitely does inspire me when I become a dad.
Thanks, bro.
Being a crazy sports dad.
Yeah. It's the best. It really
Those are my
is.
3.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
What do you got there, Andrew?
I'm gonna go Doug Peterson. I think was great. You know, Super Bowl winner.
Doug, really?
Yeah.
Doggy.
Charlie's
Charlie's a father figure, huh? Interesting. I
can see that.
Charlie is definitely on my list. And then a player, Brian Dawkins.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Imagine B-Dog as your dad and you waking up.
It's
He's the Wolverine.
Dude, such an inspirational guy. I feel like would just motivate you every single day, would make you a better man, better person overall. And that's why I would see him as a father figure.
All right. I like that. No torts.
Nah, who the hell wants to grow up in that house? Oh, my God. There's an 8 belt, there's a 12
Set you
belt.
up.
Best dog dad.
Yeah, great with the dogs, but the
I was
kids.
setting you up.
Yeah. It's a wall of belts.
Get your head out of the rack. You got a 94. Why did you get 100?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That's great.
It's social studies. Come on, anyone can get it. All you got to do is read.
Who's your best?
I mean, Charlie's on the list. Buddy. Come on, man. You got to go Buddy Ryan. Anyone's going to have your back.
Buddy was the best.
Similar. I do like Topper. I like Topper's vibe and demeanor.
I was thinking Topper.
I was thinking him.
Topper does have a great father figure.
I think he
kind of
leads
way.
you in the right direction.
Yeah.
And I think Jeff Stoutland.
Oh, good
Stanley
pick, man.
University.
Yeah, what he does with these
a-
offensive
That's a
linemen.
good one, VJ.
Yeah.
That's a good pick.
Yeah,
That's
he
a good
seems
one.
like the dad of our O-line, and our O-line's always, even when the team's in disarray, the O-line is together.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
I would also throw in Jim Johnson.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. Totally.
You totally get that. All right, JP, why don't you hit us with some stuff we got to say?
Yeah.
And we'll come back with VG's Nugs.
Absolutely. Sounds good. All right, guys, let's talk real quick about Rite Aid because obviously, listen, it's allergy season. We're hearing Cuz here. We're feeling for him. So we want to make sure we have Rite Aid in the back of our mind because it's going to be our pharmacy place. Our pharmacy, they're going to provide our pharmacy services for this summer here. And these are some of the things that you can expect from Rite Aid this summer. With a My Pharmacy account, at Rite Aid, you can refill your prescription, schedule a vaccine, get personalized care recommendations, sign up for prescription notifications. All you need to get started is a prescription at Rite Aid. Get started at riteaid.com/mypharmacy. Stop stressing over your prescriptions. Let Rite Aid refill them automatically. Enroll in automated courtesy refills. It's free, easy, and most prescriptions qualify. Talk with your Rite Aid pharmacist or sign up through your My Pharmacy account at riteaid.com. Restrictions may apply. Get your prescriptions at the same time with one-trip refills. Transfer your prescriptions to Rite Aid today. Go to riteaid.com/transfer. Rite Aid caring pharmacist, ready to answer your questions and help you stay healthy. Get your prescriptions along with anything at Rite Aid you may need, including over-the-counter medicines, household products, cosmetics, and much more. Just ask your pharmacy team for details. And of course, again, restrictions do apply. And with that, guys, listen, it is currently right now 10:38 in the morning here on the Anthony Gargano Show. We want to take a quick second to thanking everyone for tuning on in. Whether you're watching live on YouTube, listening on the podcast streaming sites, thank you so much you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button, subscribe. Once you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button. That'll let you know exactly when the Anthony Gargano Show is live. And of course, wherever you stream podcasts, Apple, Google, and Spotify, subscribe to the Anthony Gargano Show. And we would appreciate if you could leave a little rating once you subscribe there as well. Here's what's on the dock here at PHLY Sports. Following us at 12 p.m., PHLY Eagles will be going live. At 1 p.m., we have PHLY Flyers. At 2:30, we have the PHLY Sixers team. And then tonight, we already heard them from the bro. The PHLY Phillies team will be going live following the Phillies and Orioles game 1. Should be fun or may not be, but make sure you want to tune in there tonight. And then, of course, guys, we have fun events as always. Listen, if you had fun this past weekend at the watch party for the Phillies, definitely keep an eye out here because on Wednesday, June 26th, it is the day of the NBA draft. We have PHLY Sixers live from the garage over in Fishtown, the Fishtown location. We have Coors Light specials. Devon, Kyle, and Derek will be live for the entire thing. Well, hopefully maybe we'll have a pick at 16, but you're going to have to find out on the 26th. So all that information of the events is on allphly.com/events. You can find further information there. But that's what we got going on here at PHLY, guys.
I tell you, Sixers all season going to be wild.
Yeah.
Next week's going to be pretty. It starts because the finals will be over and the off season will start, and it's going to be crazy.
It's going to be wild.
Leading up to the draft.
Yeah.
It's going to be wild.
Hey, Jason in the chat, he says, you'll like this one. Dwight from This Boy's Life. As a
oh,
dad.
my God. I'll try gulch you.
Yeah.
he was horrible. De Niro.
Yeah.
Dwight. Even if they Dwight.
That's tough.
Like, yeah.
He also mentioned Mike Keenan as a dad figure.
Oh,
Keenan's a
that's
good
great.
one.
Iron Mike.
Yes.
Clean your room before you get a puck in the face.
Heard stories about the Keenan.
Man.
That's great. All right. This portion of the program brought to you by TruMark Financial Credit Union. Check out the credit union difference at TruMark.com/PHLY. All right. VG's Nugs. What do you got, buddy? VG.
Big night last night for Brad Marsh. Man, is this guy a draw? Did you see the crowd that came out to see him last night?
Wild.
They drew 8,400. I think it was a sellout last night. There was not a seat. Look at here's a view from behind home plate. There's not a seat to be had to come out and see Marshy last night.
Is it bobblehead with that?
They love the Marsh.
Yeah, he's like a little rock star, man.
Brandon Marsh. I love him too.
Yeah.
There's something about him that you love him. Look at that. That's a great scene.
Yeah.
Shouts to Reddit.
It was wild. They interviewed him post game.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
That's awesome.
They're like, oh, is it weird to be interviewed, not having to worry about Bowman stock coming out throwing seeds and water down your back?
That's awesome.
I'll tell you who's not on my list to trade for that A's package. He's untouchable. Our boy from Verona, Samuel Aldegeri. Hey, this guy threw 9 strikeouts in 6 innings last night.
He was dealing, cuz.
Over his last 54 innings, he's got 74 strikeouts with a .93 whip. Our boys fast tracking to be the first Italian-born player to play in the Major League Baseball.
Wow, that's wild.
Good for him.
Yeah.
That's wild, man. That's pretty cool.
Same eight. Major League teams. In 1993, 0 teams as a collective unit hit under 240. This year, there's 15 teams.
Oh my God!
So far, hitting as a team below 240.
Wow.
Pretty wild.
Dude,
Crap.
that's crazy.
From 1993 to 2009, there were 0. And then it slowly creeps up. But lately, as you know, it's swinging for home runs. It's double digits.
My God.
Launch angles and stuff.
That's wild.
That is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Whew.
We know the Dodgers are loaded.
Mm-hmm.
There's one pitcher who has struck out Mookie Betts, Ohtani, and Freddie Freeman in succession. And he's done it twice.
Really?
David Robertson.
What?
Yes.
Yo, I was going to say Vinny Velasquez, but
He's done it in
David
back-to-back
Robertson.
games.
Wow. He struck out those 3 in a row?
Yes, twice. Are you kidding me?
He
That
gives you
guy was a
good
bum
moments.
here.
Insane.
he gives you good
But
moments.
he
when he's
was
hurt.
beyond-
And then
yeah.
he was a bum.
We traded for him twice.
I know. Oh my God, that's incredible. David Robertson. He was
He
he
got paid a lot of money,
Crumb
too.
bum?
Yeah.
Remember he got hurt on the
that word.
celebration?
He wasn't a crumb bum.
No?
Well, no, because the crumb was part of it. He was just a bum. crumb bum is.
So it's like Ben Simmons crumb bum?
Yes.
Okay.
He got
That-
hurt on a
like a-
celebration.
Yeah, but he's a bum.
Not
He
J.O.
high-fived
Crumb
like
bum's
Bryce
a
Harper
J.O.
on his
You're
boat
right.
his
You're
hand.
right.
Like a bum. You know, he's just a bum. Straight bum.
If you suck, you're just a bum. If you're a J.O., you're a crumb bum.
correct.
All right.
That's the correct vernacular.
Yeah.
okay.
This nugget hurts. I don't even know if we're
man.
all ready for it. If you haven't seen it, Tom Thibodeau added to his roster of coaches
Mo.
Philly legend Mo Cheeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Oh, that's brutal.
Seeing him go to the enemies, painful.
And look, like Mo, look at his face. Mo's got a great face.
Remember when he
Like
helped
a
that
lovable
little
face.
girl sing the national anthem? He's just a nice guy.
Yeah. Maurice Cheeks
Now,
in New York.
I have to ask, since I was a kid during this, why didn't it work for him as a head coach?
I don't think he had the demeanor.
I think he's too nice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he had the demeanor for it.
Yeah, he's not like a
He's
long,
a perfect assistant.
Yes.
You know,
Okay, that makes sense.
you know,
Especially for Thibodeau, who's a J.O.
exactly.
Mo
Somebody-
smoothed it over a little bit.
Yeah, like he was cool. Like Mo was one of the coolest.
Yeah.
Who was his assistant? Do you guys remember about that
I
time?
don't remember the
Nah,
staff.
nah.
Gotta get a hard ass if you're going to be that type of coach.
Yeah.
Chris Ford was probably one of them.
I think you're right.
You know.
He's a J.O.
Yes. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Chris Ford
He's a
was.
Celtic.
Yeah. Had that hate the face.
Total. He looked miserable all the time.
Yeah.
NFL Sunday Ticket. So the NFL's in some lawsuit with like a monopoly thing or whatever. So these documents are coming out. And DirecTV tried to make NFL Sunday Ticket available for the common person at $70 for the year. And NFL said no.
Wow.
They
ridiculous.
do not want it readily accessible because they want to drive people to their TV partners on network TV and things such as that to raise advertising money and to make their TV contracts larger. So they did not want everyone to be able to get NFL Sunday Ticket in their houses.
That's insane.
Well, it makes sense though.
It does.
It makes
it's
sense.
a J.O. move if we're talking J.O.'s, but it makes sense for
but
them.
it's actually a brilliant business move.
Yeah.
Like, why would you want to devalue your real product?
Yep.
I would shut it down before I would diminish my network money, because that's the real ticket.
It is. $70, I'm in.
$70
For the year? Yeah, that's nothing.
Yeah.
You watch any game? Are you
Yes.
kidding me?
It's
Yep.
nothing.
Are you a red zone guy?
Love Red Zone.
Oh, big time red zone.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I know you are.
But
You are too, right? You're not? My man.
nothing better. If the Eagles are on a bye week, you get like 7
I get
hours
that.
of Red Zone right in that Sunday night
I
football.
like to watch the games.
Yeah.
Fantasy football as well. Red zone is perfect because you get to see all the scores and everything.
Do you
like that.
try to anger him on purpose?
I mean, that's such a non-sportsman thing to say. It
are you
is.
talking
You're a
about?
I
non-sport-
knew it.
You're a non-sportsman.
What are you talking about? I love sports
That's a non-sportsman thing to say.
because I play fantasy football.
No, we all play fantasy football. All right, but like that shouldn't be your number one. Reason.
And that's why I don't do fantasy football, because I need my Eagles, and I don't want to have to worry about what's this player doing in this game, what's this player doing in that game. I just want to watch the Eagles.
Like you get more out of watching a game.
Oh, I watched
than
the
just
Eagles
watch
game.
highlights.
I watched the full Eagles game, and then
I'm not
during the
talking about the Eagles. I'm not
commercials.
talking about the Eagles. I'm talking about any game.
He's talking about Bengals Chargers.
You watch the game.
I mean, yeah, if
That's a
there's
good
a good matchup, I'll definitely watch it.
That's why I would watch it, just for the matchup alone.
All right.
You can't watch every game. Like,
Speaking of networks, can ESPN spend a little more money on their broadcast for hockey? They had. Have you watched the games?
Yeah,
Did you see the table that they jam these guys at?
How bad is this? I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
It's like 3 big human
Yeah,
beings at
yeah.
this
Oh,
tiny
dude.
little table. How close are they?
Yeah.
You imagine
Come
us
on.
on that? Oh my god! Because would be
Like,
shoving us.
This set here is way nicer
Yes.
than what they're sitting at there.
Yeah. They're swashed in.
Yeah.
Did you see when Barkley came in?
Yeah. Yes.
They looked like
they're
it was like, hey, Charles, who's a monster.
kids'
right?
table.
Right. It was crazy.
Hey, speaking of what they do now, I actually like they do on ESPN. during intermission or halftime now, they give you the countdown.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh, that's great.
Because I used to always try and time stuff, and I'm
Yes.
always wrong.
I love the countdown.
Yes.
Yeah,
100%.
That's strong. Is it smart?
No, because I walk away. I just pop in until I don't watch the intermission show.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
I'm sure they know that, though. I'm sure they know a lot of people just step away because that's your time to get a snack, or a bathroom break.
Although,
beer
by
run.
having the countdown, you're more apt to stay there to see the countdown, to come in and check. So you're leaving it on.
Yeah, for sure.
I leave it on, but like I'll run the dogs out, take a quick leak.
Yeah.
Right, but the fact that you're leaving it on is quality.
Yeah.
what they want.
For them.
I can hear it. Go get some ice cream, throw some rainbow jimmies on it. You know.
Not a rainbow, man. You got to go to chocolate Jimmy's.
I need a little more flavor.
I don't
I
like
went
the
straight
rainbow.
vanilla. I need the flavor of the rainbows.
Can you guys
The
clear?
vanilla and the rainbow don't go. The vanilla and the chocolate Jimmy's go.
I like vanilla and chocolate.
Is it all? I got a question. Is it all Jimmy's,
Yeah, where
or
I
is it
come from.
sprinkles?
Rainbow. The rainbow things are sprinkles.
Sprinkles, right? The rainbow
I
sprinkles.
call them all Jimmy's, but
They're all Jimmy's.
Jimmy's is chocolate.
There's
chocolate.
Yeah,
sprinkles
that's
are like those hard crystal things. I think. Like, remember those?
Yeah.
Hard
Bobo
crystal
Jimmy's?
things.
Yeah.
I love like going outside this area and then like pissing people off with like the things we say. Like go to like a ice cream shop up in North Jersey, call it like water ice or
Oh, man.
or Jimmy's, calling it pork roll instead of
What do
Taylor.
they say? The Jimmy's.
They call them sprinkles.
Oh, they
too.
call them all sprinkles.
Yeah.
But they call the water ice Italian ice.
I know. All right.
And in Baltimore, it's shaved ice.
Yeah, that sounds
When I
weird.
lived down there, I would always say,
Shaved ice.
I'd always say water ice, and they'd be like, "How can water be ice? It's like you can't have the two things in one."
Yeah.
That's weird because they also eat
got a
hoagies
point.
too. Which is
Yeah,
weird.
sure.
Yeah, but it sounds cooler.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Cannabis news. You know, I'm
Okay.
a big fan. California used to consume more cannabis than any other state as far as retail
Don't
purchases.
you dare tell me.
Michigan
Oh.
is now your leading purchaser of
Interesting.
legal cannabis.
I thought you were going to say New Jersey for a second.
No,
Really? Michigan?
Michigan. Yeah.
It's interesting.
All right.
Ann Arbor, maybe. I don't know.
When will
I don't
PA
know.
be fully legal?
No, we got a lot of conservatives here.
What's the top? Did you get the top three, or just number
No,
one?
I didn't dig into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Michigan.
Let me see what you think of these. New chips out, I think, from hers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep.
These look great.
Some hot Stromboli chips.
Wow. What?
And I got to say, this is broad. I saw this. This is one of my favorite follows on Twitter. Stoner Philly fan.
Yeah, he's good.
And if anyone's going to have snacks on the news on this feed, it's Stoner Philly
I
fan.
love it, Stoner Philly. I'm dead.
Yeah, I'm dying. I think I'll try this
wanna
weekend. I'll try and find a bag and bring them in.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
I'm down with the hot Stromboli chips.
I love a Stromboli.
Stromboli's the
Love
best.
Stromboli.
Yeah.
But now there's two things
Here
about
we
the
go.
Stromboli.
I was going to ask.
Inside or outside sauce?
Okay, well that's also
All
a
right.
part of it. But the hard crust or the pizza dough crust. There's the bread Stromboli or the pizza dough Stromboli.
Yep.
Right? Pizza shops make a Stromboli with the pizza dough, which makes the dough soft. The bread, like the bakeries,
Like the
make the
crunch.
Stromboli with the bread dough, and it's a true pepperoni bread.
You like your jaw to hurt after eating it.
Yeah, well, that's how Stromboli was really meant to be eaten.
I think I've
I'm
ever
a
had it
soft
that
pizza
way.
shop guy.
Are you?
I am.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Then you go with gravy and the sauce
Love
inside?
it. You just want to cut it open and have grease and sauce and cheese ooze
Oh,
out
yeah,
of it.
man.
Yeah.
I like the sauce inside
See,
too.
I'm more of a Panzerotti or Stromboli guy. I
Love
like
a
the Panzer.
Panzer.
Yeah, good pan.
What about
Family,
a
I like that.
what about a calzone?
Well, the calzone
got
is
the
baked,
ricotta.
Yeah.
and it's got ricotta inside.
Yeah.
Is that real though? Is that just like an American thing? The calzone.
No, that's real.
Okay.
No, they do-
All right. I
no,
wanted to
that's
see
real.
your opinion on
I
that.
I don't like the ricotta in it. I prefer a straight Panzerotti. Panzerotti has the mozzarella
Oh yeah, love it.
and the sauce inside.
Now I'm hungry because
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
starving.
you're hungry. Good.
Starving.
Because we got a little Wendy or Arby's. My bad. Arby's is doing a little special thing for Father's Day. They got some new burger limited to 3 lucky people will get this in a drawing. It's a It's a burger patty with a graphite.
Guys love coming at my Arby's. Look at that.
So they're giving away 3 of these burger drivers.
That's awesome.
Yo, the bros got to get in on that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's screaming the bro.
That's
The face of that driver is like a wall.
Yes,
That's a stone bro thing.
Yeah.
I like that.
Get on that, bro.
Yeah, I didn't know the Phillies bullpen does this. Do you see this? They throw their hats.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll skip that. So, all right. Finally, I'll give a shout out to Pops. He made the cover. So back in the day, there were 4 daily newspapers in town, right?
The Bulletin, the Daily News, the Inquirer, and the Journal.
Yeah. 2 would come in the morning and 2 would come at like noon,
Yeah,
right?
the Evening Bulletin was at night.
Oh, that was night.
Yeah. You had the Morning Inquirer.
Yep.
And the Journal and the
Daily
and the
News
Dailies
was
were
like
afternoon.
lunchtime, yeah. So this is Pop, the VG in the middle, bringing out an injured fireman out of a fire. But I just love what's around it. I was looking at it last night. The Bulls.
That's awesome. It's your father to cover the paper.
Yeah, man. The Bulls 20th trips the Expos, but in the top right corner, this is the Flyers had just hired Bob McCammon.
Wow.
And they have 5 pages on the Flyers' new coach.
Why was it such a big deal for 5 pages?
That's what sports was back then. It was like a 40 pages of sports coverage.
Awesome sports coverage was.
The entire section might be 5 pages now.
Yeah. No, it was like, this is my goal to bring it back somehow, right? Like, we're in our infancy here at PHLY, but I want to bring this back where you cover a story in that way. Like, that was no joke. 5 pages
on Bob McCammon,
on a coach, a new Flyers coach.
I'm in, but like, I'm just trying to figure. So, like, what would you break down? Like his coaching history, his background.
There are a million things. You have the main story, which is the hire of him. His background. You talk to all his former players and where he was, the whole thing. You talk to the current players about what they're saying. Like, you just go on, and you just give you all what it means for the X and O's. They're going to a new system.
I like that.
Was it like following Freddie Shiro's footsteps?
Yeah. Like, and they called it sidebars, right? Like, you had a main story. You would have a column, which is an opinion piece that would tell you whether or not it was good or not. Like, it was a great hire. It's a great hire. It sucks or whatever. And then you would have sidebars, like all these little side pieces that go with it. And then you got 5 pages of coverage.
I like it.
There was nothing like it.
Nothing
like
you
it.
You could spend an hour reading the sports section
of
any paper.
It was the greatest. I still don't know what, like, we can make that happen digitally. I got to believe people would still want that kind of sports coverage.
So I love that stuff.
Maybe you wouldn't want 5,000 word pieces like I like to write.
Right.
But you would still want comprehensive sports coverage.
The problem is today, the attention span, especially like the younger generations.
But we love sports here.
Oh, I agree.
I think we have the attention span for it.
Everyone's just so busy running around these days, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, one more quick thing. Little League Diamond graphic came up, and I think we can all relate to this in some way about what position they put kids in.
You have no idea how true this is.
So I was the tallest player. I was at first base a lot. Can't make the throw from short as the second baseman.
Wow, this is
Best glove is shortstop. Throws wild as the third baseman. Always sweaty kid is the catcher. Positive attitude kid is right field. Really fast center field, and the nicest kid's in left field.
Wait. And the coach's
kid is pitching. Yes.
So I was
so
catcher.
The coach's kid is either a pitcher or shortstop.
Yes. Yes.
I was catcher and right field, so there you go.
I was center field and pitched.
He does have positive attitude.
I totally love it. I love that. That is so good. Send it to me so I can send it to to the dads on the team.
This is good, VJ.
Yeah. That's great stuff. All right. Now it's time for Todd.
He's here? Sweet.
He's here. We got him. Here he comes.
Todd T. Act like a man. You can't handle the truth.
It's time for TV Todd.
What's up,
guys?
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, cuz.
My man. We were talking about, you'll get this reference. We were talking about, because VG's dad was on the cover of the Philadelphia Journal. And on that day, the Journal hired the Flyers hired Bob McCammon as the coach. And there was 5 pages worth of coverage on Bob McCammon alone. How awesome is that?
That's crazy. I don't even remember coverage like that ever through the years.
Isn't that awesome? But that's how it used to be. They would do, you would have all kinds of comprehensive coverage. It was the best.
My grandfather worked for the Bulletin, so we were big into the Bulletin.
Yeah, we had the Bulletin. My father loved the Bulletin.
I was a daily news paper boy, so we had the daily news all the time.
I can see that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Also, happy birthday, VG.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
There he is. All right, buddy. Couple things that you're tasked with. You got to go the best dad and movies, right? The best dad TV and movies. I mean, it's Father's Day.
Yes. So I have a few that pop to mind, and then I want to throw out a debate question for the group here.
Okay.
So in my mind, probably one of the best dads in movies is Lawrence Fishburne in Boys in the Hood.
That's a great one.
Always remember that, seeing that character and saying, man, that is a dad for the ages. I mean, everybody in film will always go to Gregory Peck in To Kill a Mockingbird as Atticus Finch, the compassion, the integrity, the morality. I mean, he's always listed as the number one dad. But when I really start to think about it, there's been so many. Roberto Benigni in Life is Beautiful, shielding his kid from the Holocaust by teaching him it's just a game and keeping him safe and happy. Robin Williams, Mrs. Doubtfire, Dustin Hoffman.
That's a good one. That's a great dad.
I mean, look at what Robin Williams did for his kids to see his kids in that movie.
Yeah. That's a man. There's some great dads you got there.
Here's one for you. People don't think about it because it's comedy, but Clark Griswold, all he wanted to do in the vacation movies is take care of his kids.
Yep, that's mine, man. Love Clark. That
was his favorite movie dad, was Clark. And Clark Griswold was a great dad.
Great dad. So, it's endless. Dustin Hoffman, Kramer versus Kramer, it just goes on and on. In TV, I will go on. I think I said this to you last year, cuz the GOAT TV dad of all time to me is Mike Brady. You cannot beat Mike Brady.
Mike Brady?
Brady Bunch. You cannot beat Mike Brady. You cannot beat him as a dad.
He was the prototype, American Hollywood dad, what dad was supposed to be.
A little too square for me.
But he didn't.
He was square. But when his kids would do, bad things, bad for back in the 50s and 60s, he would always, at the end of the episode, he would say to them, and this line has always stuck in my brain. He has always say to them, "A wise man forgets his anger before he lays down to sleep."
Wow!
And so,
great dad. Look at Todd.
That's why he's TV
Todd. Mike Brady with the wisdom.
Listen, you know me. I'm a huge 70s TV guy. I start thinking great dads. James Evans Sr. in Good Times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, let me tell you something. All right? Let me tell you something. The fact is that he did whatever he could to feed his family. And
that's it.
He made sure that they weren't in trouble.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And he was tough.
Multiple jobs.
He was a protector, James Evans Jr. Senior.
He was. And listen, in the world we live in now, you have, there's great TV dads. There's the Ted Lasso, and you got a lot of them. But here's a question I wanted to pose for the three of you. So when I think of TV dads, great TV dads, I want to throw out 3 names, and you tell me whether they qualify as great dads. Okay? I'll throw them out as a group because they're all in the same kind of category. Vito Corleone, Tony Soprano, and Walter White. Are they great dads?
Oh yeah. Well, Vito was a great dad. Tony was a good dad.
Yeah.
I mean, other than the killing the guy on the college trip.
Oh, is that all?
Other than that,
I'm in on Vito. I don't know if I'm in on Tony.
I say Walter White as well. I mean,
He
he's
did
doing the whole
everything
thing for his son.
protect his family.
Yeah.
Make sure they were set once he.
listen, that was the whole motive. The brilliance of that Breaking Bad, the brilliance of the show is, all right, what you'll do anything for your family.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, and it was the perfect one line to build the whole series off of, which is, how desperate are you to feed your family knowing that you have a terminal illness? And then you just build the whole line. You know, where could you go? So he went to the other side, right? He went to Heisenberg.
I
That's
am
right.
the one who knocks.
That's right. I think that's the modern TV dad, right? The dad who seemingly has to do whatever it takes for their family and their kids, even if it's bad stuff. That's the modern TV dad.
We talked a little about Bryan Cranston. You know, Andrew brought up Malcolm in the Middle. We're talking about Breaking Bad. I don't like him in Your Honor. Have you watched Your Honor?
Oh, that's a good show.
I thought it was a good show. I mean,
I just feel like he's just covering up for his son way too much.
No, you do anything for your son.
But
no,
no,
you can't.
JP makes it.
No, you're wrong about that.
If your son
I got
murders
news for you.
someone,
Yeah, I would cover it up.
Yeah, man, 100%.
And
Especially if like
it's not even close.
accountability.
It's not
especially when like the mob is involved.
Listen, now, would I be happy about it? Of course not. But if something happened to my kid, I don't care what there's no way in the world I'm giving him up. And I'm protecting him all day long.
Lack of accountability for me. That's all.
Well, the thing is also
accountability. You're talking about spending the kid's life is done. So you as a father will do whatever you can to protect your son or your daughter.
Well, JP, I'll defend JP a bit here, because in that show, correct me if I'm wrong, JP, he has a moment. Many moments, but one at the very beginning where they could have come clean and rectified the situation, protected the kid. His immediate reaction, though, was your reaction, and I think that made it worse. He could have, if he had his kid take responsibility from the beginning, obviously we wouldn't have a show, but I think as a dad, that would have been a better result.
Man, the chat room is out on Tony, and they're crushing JP right now. Everyone's like, you got to cover it up. You got to take the fall. JP is wrong.
Well, isn't the big part of that whole thing is that he goes to the precinct with the son and he sees that the guy, the mobster, that he's there. And that's the son that he kills is the mobster's son.
Exactly.
You see that, you're done.
That's why you're right, Andrew. That's why that's the wrong move. Because the minute he goes to jail, he's going to get killed.
Yeah, he's trying to do the good thing and then sees the bad guy and says, no way, I'm not going to have my son die over this.
And that's why you got to protect. At all costs, protect I got news for you. I protect my sons. I don't care what. You ever see the movie? George Jung. You remember the story? He's a drug smuggler. Penelope Cruz is the girl. Oh, come on. Blow. Thank you.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I see that in a minute.
So in that movie, George goes home. His mother dined him out. Do you remember that story? The father protected him no matter what, but the mother dined out George, and the cops came and got him.
Yeah, in the movie, it was Johnny Depp, right?
Yes. Like, you can never dime out your kid. I don't care what happens.
Well, like we're saying, that's the modern dad. The dad that does things for his family, but has to do bad things.
Well, what's the chat say? They go out on Tony. What about Don Corleone? Vito?
They're in on everybody. They're cool. Everyone's like, Tony, Tony, no way. Yeah. No love for Tony.
Yeah. He was bad too, because he was a rotten.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Vito, though, of the gangster dads,
Yeah, well, Vito's, classy together.
Yeah. I agree. I go there. I go there. That's right. What else you got, buddy?
So last week we talked about British TV and film, so we didn't get to too much of what's been released currently, but there's some great new content out there. I'll just hit a few quick because I know you can't stay all day with me, although I would like that. So in the theaters, the movie Run Lola Run. Do you remember this from 1999?
Yes.
Huge independent hit. It's back in the theaters, completely remastered, looks beautiful. I took my family to see it the other night. So that's one I totally recommend to go to the theaters and see. Run Lola Run. It's fantastic.
Hey, is it a remake or it's just a remastered version?
Just a remastered version
sweet.
of the original. And it is fantastic. You probably remember VG. The music's great.
Yeah, that's a
the
great
intensity.
film.
It's JP. So just so you don't know, if you don't know this, the movie's basically it's shot in real time with multiple different alternative conclusions. This woman has 20 minutes basically to find $100,000 to save her boyfriend from gangsters. And the movie is, she's running the whole time. You're sitting there just intense for the entire 80 minutes.
I like the storyline. That sounds good.
Yeah. It's brilliant.
I have to check that out.
Massive hit back in the day. So also on streaming, we have two documentaries that I absolutely love. The first one has a major Philly connection. So it's called Let the Canary Sing, and it's basically Cyndi Lauper. It's the documentary about her career. Now, what your audience may not know is that her career would not really have happened without two big Philly artists. One is Robert Hazard and the Heroes.
Wow.
You may remember Robert Hazard. He wrote Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
Wow.
And then the Hooters wrote her biggest hits. Time After Time, True Colors. That's the Hooters. And they're very much a part of the documentary and credited with her success. So huge Philly connection on this documentary.
Okay.
Wow, that's wild. Yeah. Robert Hazard was a brilliant guy.
Todd, what's the big
Brilliant.
Robert Hazard and the Heroes hit?
Escalator of Life.
My man, I love that song. It's such an underrated Philly song.
BG, back in the day, George Washington High School, where I went, we won a contest to have Robert Hazard play in our auditorium. It was awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
He was so talented.
He was great. It's sad he died when he did. Amazing. But this documentary is great for people who don't know about her career and how she, what she had to do she had to sign up to be on WWE, then WWF, to get noticed in her music career. It's such a good documentary.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. The other one that I love, again, maybe from the day and age where I grew up, but there's a documentary on Hulu about the Brat Pack from the 80s called Brats. So JP, back in the day when there were these young actors who starred in really big films at the time, Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink, tons and tons of films. St. Elmo's Fire. They were written about in the New York Times and called the Brat Pack, which was a derogatory term that they weren't talented, et cetera, et cetera. So they started to not want to work together, and it became this big deal. But we're talking about Rob Lowe, Emilio Estevez, Andrew McCarthy, Demi Moore, Ali Sheedy, Molly Ringwald.
I hated those dudes.
Even Emilio? Coach Bombay?
I hated them.
He was my coach growing up.
I hated them. Oh, God.
Love
They
Bombay.
talk about hating the
coach.
face. That Andrew McCarthy, I would have hit him with a tire iron. You got that Estevez. Oh, horrible.
Such
Well,
great
cuz-
work they did. You
Yeah,
hated those
because-
movies?
Horrible.
You hated those movies?
Breakfast Club was good.
I went to bed last night watching Breakfast Club.
That's amazing. But remember, Andrew McCarthy, like the roles that he played, same thing with James Spader. They played the rich
another
kid.
hate
They
the
played
face.
the
Less
rich
than
kid.
zero. Less than
Yes.
zero, man. It's such a dark,
Yeah.
great film.
Yeah, they always played the rich kid that you wanted to hate. So
Yeah.
that was who they played. But this documentary is great because Andrew McCarthy, who directs it, he goes back and interviews all of them about what it did to their careers. It did not do good things for their careers. So it's actually really, really fascinating documentary. So you have two of those.
Two of them escaped, though. Two of them became megastars. Would you agree?
Rob Lowe and Demi Moore?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, a lot of them are still working today. It's just that they were making decisions about their career to not be in movies together, which they gave up a lot of good films because of that.
Was it Emilio Estevez? He was Charlie Sheen's cousin, right?
Son, right?
Son or
Yeah, Charlie Sheen's
He's
brother.
Charlie Sheen.
He's his brother.
Yeah, they're
Martin Sheen
brothers,
is their-
yeah.
Yeah,
Tiger's
Martin Sheen
blood.
is their dad.
Yeah, why did he take the name? Why did he not take the name? What was the story behind
The same reason that Nicolas Cage didn't take the Coppola name. They wanted to stand on their own with their acting chops.
Well, he is Nick Coppola in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, I think. He's like an extra in the back. Yeah, I think he is Nicholas Coppola in Fast Times.
Yeah.
Great movie.
That's a good one. Let me throw out two more for you real quick, and then I'll let you guys go. So I'm excited about this. I am absolutely not a superhero movie TV guy. I'm out on it. I find them to be completely conventional, same kind of storyline. I am bored to death. I know what GP, I can see what you're doing. You know what I'm going to say. I love The Boys.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Andrew's show.
My favorite show, Todd. My favorite show.
And I know why. Because it breaks all norms. The basic premise is, here are these superheroes that have these incredible skills, and they take advantage of them. They use them to be narcissists, bad people. I love the show so much. It's back for its 4th season. It's going to do one more season, and then it's going to end after 5. But absolutely great series that's back now on Amazon Prime.
See, cuz you got to watch it. Keep telling you.
Yeah, I'm out.
I'm out.
Have you tried? No, seriously. Why are you out though? Because I'm not a superhero
thing
fan.
for cuz.
Yeah, the superhero thing doesn't.
Even if they make fun of them?
No, yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah, just people with super.
It's still the same kind of thing. I mean,
My girlfriend was
it's
out on the
different.
show because of that whole idea of the superhero thing. And then I got her to start watching it like a week ago. And we've been watching like 3 episodes a day.
That's
She
good.
loves it. It's not really about
dark
superheroes.
No, it's not. And cuz it's dark. It is about
Yeah, it is
as
dark.
dark as it gets.
really,
It's got people with superpowers, though, right?
Well, they have superpowers, but they use it for bad stuff.
Yeah, I'm out on
And-
people with superpowers. That's where I am. I don't want to see people with superpowers.
yeah. I'll be honest with you. I'm more on the VG side. Now I know people love it though. People
Yeah,
love that.
love
like,
it.
You know,
I'm looking. It's got a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. People
Yeah.
love it.
It is the anti-superhero show. I mean, if you're out on superheroes, this is your show.
All right. Well, maybe I'll give it a shot. All right.
You ain't giving it a shot.
I don't know. Maybe we're always looking. We've been starting and stopping a lot, man. You know,
That
I
happens
haven't
a
found
lot.
anything that I went, I love this show. I'm in that mode of I haven't had a good I can't wait to watch it.
Well, Todd, let me ask you, because you brought up Lawrence Fishburne earlier. Have you watched the Clip Show?
You know, I tried to watch it, but I find it comical. I don't.
Lawrence's
cannot
doc
buy-
is hilarious.
I know.
I
but,
can't-
like,
I
in a
can't watch
bad
it either.
way.
Well, I was like, I really didn't pay attention to that story when it happened. I just knew, like, you know, Sterling was just a piece of crap. But it's just crazy how much of a piece of crap he was. That's the only thing that's like shocking.
he was despicable. He was a despicable guy. The problem is, first of all, Lawrence Fishburne is too cool for Doc. Man, there's no way in the world he's Doc Rivers.
It doesn't feel believable, that's for sure.
No, it feels cartoonish. It feels
What's the
cartoonish,
next
especially.
series, Todd, that I'm going to go, I can't wait to watch the next episode?
Okay. I got one for you, cuz now it's not out yet. It premieres, I think it premieres on Sunday on MGM Plus. It is called Hotel Cocaine. And it's the story of this
He's
hotel back in the 70s that all the cartels would go to make their deals.
So in.
And the hotel employees have to kind of conceal this, but it's called Hotel Cocaine, starts Sunday night.
I'm in. That sounds.
Cocaine and cartels.
Yeah.
I got you, brother.
Yo,
Yeah.
Todd, I watched the first episode of Ren Fair. Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Man, that's about the Renaissance Fair guy.
Oh, get out.
Yeah, he started the first fair in Texas, dude, they do 31,000 people a day, millions of dollars rolling into this fair that this king's going to like give up the throne to. How horny is this 85-year-old guy? All he wants to do is abdicate the throne so he can chase tail. He's on like 12 dating sites. He's got an assistant that runs his dating profiles on 12 dating sites. He's 85 years old. He's popping testosterone shots. He's so horny.
I got to check that out.
I knew you would love it. BG, I knew you would love it when I brought that show up. I knew it. I think it ends this week. It's a 3-parter.
Oh, I got to watch it. It sounds interesting.
His whole plan basically is to give up the throne. He's 85 or 87, get tail for 8 years, and then go to Switzerland or Sweden for assisted suicide. He wants to die at 95. That's his whole life. That's his plan.
That sounds awesome.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. It's great.
Todd, I did watch Tires as well, by the way.
I liked it.
It's not bad.
Did Mrs. Todd like Tires?
She didn't watch it.
Yeah, none of them.
I watched it on my own too.
She asked me. She goes, "Should I watch that?" I'm like, probably not for you.
Right.
It's very dumb, but it's a good laugh. It's a little a little chuckle.
That's great. Todd, we love you, brother. Listen, happy Father's Day. Have a great
Happy
weekend.
Father's Day.
And
Father's
I'm
Day
sure we'll be talking.
Yeah, let me give a quick shout out to my dad, Ron Schill, best dad in the world, as far as I'm concerned. And also, I'm going to leave you guys with this sports thing. I got to do it. Quick shout out to my Hershey Bears, who tonight start their run for their 13th Calder Cup.
There you go.
That's awesome. They are
13.
That's ridiculous. They've always been good. The Hershey Bears, it's amazing. Always been good.
Look at this.
There you go. Look at that. Is it made of chocolate?
This is a replica of their back-to-back, a couple of their cups. I represent them, as you guys may know. I don't represent them. Once the guys become Washington Capitals, they're dead to me. But at the end of the day, this is unbelievable. They're going up against Dan Bylsma's Coachella Firebirds for a rematch of last year's Calder Cup.
Wow.
That's
Coachella
awesome.
Firebirds.
That's awesome. Very cool, man. I love it, man. That's good stuff, brother. I love it, man. Good to enjoy it. And have a great weekend, and I'll be talking to you, buddy. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. See you guys.
Todd. All right, that's going to do it.
Hey, real quick, Brad the Brain says Mavericks by double digits.
Yeah.
Bet Parks, you could do Mavericks minus 9.5 pace plus 320.
Wow. There you go. Yeah. That's interesting. All right.
There you go.
I could see it.
Hop on it.
First of all, I want to thank my father, wish him a happy Father's Day, my father, Anthony Gargano. I have a group of friends that showed me the way to become a dad, how to become a dad.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Boo was the first, then Tooch, then Bobby, and but my cousin Joey. They're just incredible fathers.
Good mentors.
Great mentors.
Nice.
They're just amazing guys. It's just what they've done as dads showed me the way.
You're doing all right. You're doing all right.
Yeah, so special love to them and to my father and to all the dads out there. Listen, happy Father's Day. Enjoy your day. We love you guys, man. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.
We all silly like the mayor.